Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lightbringers podcast. Today, we have amazing, epic new music to start with. I think it's Divinity's Reach Celebration. I can't remember. Or like Celebration, like you did something well, and you probably have this week because you're amazing. Is the Lightbringers podcast. Today, we're talking about Elite Specialization, Speculation. So many speculations and specs, but only 4 out of 5 people wearing specs. Damn.
Oh, you're right.
I should put mine on.
Boots. That's weird.
What?
That's actually weird. That's weird. That's
I know
weird.
specs.
That is weird.
I never
that
have
is
worn
actually weird.
glasses in my life.
Bare exposed boots face.
It looks so wrong. Like it just looks so different. Wait, you've
I think you look great. You know
no.
what?
I don't mean ugly. Wow.
I didn't expect you meant ugly,
I didn't mean
but now I
bad.
kind of do. I kind of do think you meant ugly now that you said that.
I
Just
didn't
looking at
mean
your
that.
You know, it looks
You're
so
just
wrong.
taking
Please just
my
put it
words.
back on there. Thank you.
Yeah, please, because otherwise I just don't know who you are and I'd be like confused. Everyone, welcome to the Lightbringers podcast. An exciting episode again. Well, they're always exciting because people sort of fell on here anyway. And before the podcast starts as well.
You're welcome for that.
Thank you, Griff. As we did last time, we talked about the 4 Elite Specialization icons that have appeared. We have 4 more, and we are missing Uno. We are missing 1, which is annoying. Actually,
And we all know which one that is, right?
it's the engineer one.
What makes you say
Revit.
that?
What? It's the engineer one. We're missing the engineer one.
We're all going to agree on everything today, I can tell.
Yeah, you're great.
All
You're great.
We're missing.
Angle, whatever you say, I'll say it too.
Okay, perfect.
That's cheating. I'm always the one who's never
Everybody
agreed
get on
with.
my
so.
train. That's the only acceptable train to be on. Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. Colin's back. You could use the Collins train. It's pretty good. Have you seen that meme? It's just the
true.
Collins face at the front of the train. It is like full on. Let's go hype train time because we've got Elite Specialization icons to go through. Lots of speculation. We unfortunately don't have Fornex today, who we are sending our wonderful thoughts to. Our friend. I hope you're good and we love your face. In the description below, in the comments, just say Fornex, you're awesome, and we miss your face. Please, that would be wonderful. But we do have everyone else who is here. We have Engel, we have Kroof, we have Boots, and Boots has been away for a bit, but Rookery has been away for a lot fucking longer. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, I swore.
Wow,
I
I'm
did so well last
No, it's
podcast.
fucking
I
sorry,
did
everybody.
so well.
Okay.
I
It's
lied
not
to YouTube.
emphasis.
I just
It was
lied to YouTube and
emphasis.
say I don't swear. So,
Fine.
is this child friendly? Sure.
Just bleep it
I
out.
don't care
Gotta
anymore.
bleep.
Language is an art.
Exactly.
We're gonna have a
just
mini-
expressing ourselves.
We can have a mini catch up with Rookery and Boots because they've been away for a fair while. But Rookery, how are you? Good? How are you doing? What are you doing? Are you up to things? I mean, what? Sorry.
I am up to so many things. Yes,
That's true.
No, I'm good. I'm so happy to be back, though. Honestly, I've missed being with everybody. I've missed being able to talk about Go Wars too, and to just have like ridiculous laughs and inappropriate jokes and lob obscenities out there into the ether of the internet with all of you. Well, yeah, sure, talking about the games that we love. No, I'm really excited. Things have been good. I've been doing a lot of esports stuff, doing a lot of things for World of Warcraft and streaming on my own channel, and there's just more to come. But honestly, it feels like coming home, so I'm glad to be here with all of you.
Yes, we did miss you.
Home sweet
Glad you're
home.
here. Boots, how are you doing, my friend? It's been a bit since we've seen you as well.
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
Period.
You've got loads of stuff
Period.
going on though, dude. You got like, I mean, I don't remember if we've talked much about what's going on in your life and stuff, so it's up to you if you want to talk about it.
I have a kid, and it is a lot of work. But other than that, I'm good. And also, because of that, I'm good. So,
Yes,
yeah, there you go.
absolutely.
Aw.
Wonderful. That's so good.
But I also got, not too long ago, I put out a bunch of new adventure
did.
quest videos that you can check out. I'm not done all the adventures that are out currently. I think I still have like 5 more or 6 more.
Is that the latest expansion or like?
That's including the latest expansion. That's all I got left. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
People have got things to look forward
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I just hope
Cool.
that they don't add any more adventures to any seasonal things because that would be
I think
bad.
it's mostly added stuff because of the races, right? It was like the races and like the pinata stuff. Did you get the pinata stuff done in the dragons?
Was there new
And-
pinata stuff?
No. But you needed to get
Okay,
on the
then
new
good.
leaderboard, didn't you? Or did they not refresh it?
Oh no, I'm still on there.
Oh, you're still on there. It just keeps it forever.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
Really?
change is if they like
That feels-
change the course in some way.
That's terrible.
It's like, don't worry, my spot is secured.
That's right. That's right.
Which
They
is like I would
changed-
know.
One thing they changed was back. They like when they added new adventures to the Mad King racecourse area.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They changed the map itself, so they took off
Oh.
all the scores from the original race. What they had.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually remember you talking about that and being quite sad.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. I got a better score afterwards.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, no. I remember why you were
Actually a
sad.
boon in disguise.
Because we did the
Oh, yeah,
adventures in Thingy Wins, and I was at the front of the boat. And
Yeah,
got a quicker
that
time than you.
That was
That was
annoying.
fun.
Yeah.
We cheated.
We did that during the
just sat
podcast
further.
episode as well, I think,
Yeah.
didn't we?
I did beat
Like-
it though. I did beat it though since then. So
I know.
yeah, we're good.
Damn.
We're good.
I needed the boots literally carried me. Literally carried me. Kroof, how you doing? We had Kroof and Engel on last week, but we're gonna say hello to
Hi.
everyone briefly.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm doing really well. I've been posting quite a few videos over on YouTube talking about everything that we're going to be talking about today in terms of elite specializations. And I'm also currently working on a lot of more new player centric guides, introducing various elements that I would probably recommend to players coming in. So if you are a newer player or you have some friends who are newer players, feel free to check out my channel over on the YouTubes. Also streaming here on
Yes.
Twitch as well.
It was top settings for new players. Guild Wars 2 easy guide. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know. Did you talk about action camera and how it's amazing?
You'll have to watch the video to find
Oh
out.
shoot! Okay, all right. I love action
But-
camera. I use that a lot now.
I am currently writing a script for a complete new player guide because I've never done one of
Whoa.
those before. Like one of those videos where people are like have like 40-minute long videos. So
Yeah.
I'm trying my hand at it just to like have
That's
fun because
cool.
I have the inspiration. But be on the lookout for that.
Careful though. Careful putting the words complete in the title might bring out
Okay.
people from the Woodward saying that it's not entirely
In
complete.
my mind, it's going to be my most complete
I was
manifesto.
gonna say you can just delete those comments anyway. That's what I do, or call them a C
I
word.
believe in freedom of speech.
It's either delete or call them a C word. That's why I'm going with now.
Caring. Because they just
Sure.
care.
Yeah.
I
You're so
normally call
caring.
them the C word, but then I'm like, oh, they don't have depth or warmth, so that really doesn't make sense.
That's a tried and true one.
Cats.
Correct. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
If you want
You got
further
it.
explanation, please ask in the description below. Or wherever it is, you can make a comment on Spotify. Awesome, Kroof. Yes, please. You are spamming those videos. They're good. They help me in my life. Engel, how are you doing? What's going on?
Hi, I'm doing so good. Enjoying the summer. I've been doing a lot of
Nice.
streaming on my Twitch channel, talking about all of this stuff that we're about to rehash today. I feel like everything I talk about changes every 5 minutes. So we'll see what we come up with today. I'm excited to chat about it.
Awesomeness. Glad to have you all here today. We are going to start with the blog post which came out because we've actually got quite a lot. It wasn't just the Elite Specialization 2 users on social media, but it was also a blog post from Josh Davis. We're not going to read through the whole thing, but we're going to read through some sections, and I already forgot what section we're reading first. Rhythms?
Finding the right rhythm.
Ah, there we go. Okay, so if you are watching video, you can check out the actually, did I test this? We'll find out. We'll see if it works. Hopefully it does. It does work, yay. Okay.
I believe. Yeah.
Woohoo! Blog post. We're going to read through it bits and pieces because it was pretty, there was some good information in there for sure. I can't remember who's going to start. Boots.
I was told I was reading the building smarter, not bigger section.
Oh, is it Rook?
I was told that I was reading the new tricks for every trade section.
Well, Boots, I told you you would be reading Finding the Right
Boots
Rhythm.
is trying
but
to
What?
Boots is trying to.
Oh my
put
god! I
some-
mentally prepared myself for a different section. Now I'm just gonna be.
You know
all
what?
over the place.
I can read that if you'd like.
No, it's okay. I gotta do it now. I just gotta hold on.
It's okay. Take it one word at a time. You got
Please
this.
don't hold on too
Okay.
tight.
Finding the right rhythm.
Guys, he's
Rhythm.
anxious. Give him
You
time.
found it. You found that rhythm.
I found
It's
it.
like the Guild Wars 2
Okay.
music underneath.
Guild Wars 2
just to make it
Janthier
more-
Wilds launched in August of last year, followed by 3 quarterly updates. After the first of those updates arrived in November 2024, we heard consistent feedback from the community. The additional story content felt too short, and the lack of a new open world map made the update feel noticeably light. Similar reactions of Story Scope followed the second and third releases, signaling that the pacing and structure of these releases could better align with your expectations. For our next expansion, we're refining that structure to give each update more depth and impact. The first quarterly release after the expansion's launch will not include new story or map content. Instead, it'll focus on updates to the core systems and long-standing features. This approach gives us the space to revisit foundational elements of the game, improvements that support the long-term health of Guild Wars 2 and reflect the design philosophy outlined in the Building Smarter Not Bigger section below. By focusing on story and map development in the second and third quarterly updates, we're able to make those releases more robust and satisfying. Each will introduce a larger, more content-rich map and a longer, more fully developed story than what players saw in the equivalent Guild Wars 2 Janthier Wilds updates. While the total amount of story content across the expansion is increasing modestly, the bigger benefit is how much more meaningful each individual release will feel, along with the scope improvements to the open world maps. This approach allows for a more complete and satisfying story arcs, and it results in a net increase in total content delivered over the course of the expansion. So, yeah, you guys want to talk about this?
No, I thought we could just leave it and then
Yeah.
We can talk about it
Yeah.
briefly. Yeah, I don't want to
Let it
spend
hang
like
in the
a
air.
ton of time on this today because it's just kind of
Yeah.
obvious. But
Yeah.
any
So I
thoughts?
mean,
yeah,
so it sounds like they have a certain amount of resources that they could put towards story, and that's not really going to change for the next expansion. But they're going to release it in a different cadence, meaning less releases of story, but in bigger chunks. They do say that it'll modestly increase in size, the story.
yeah.
True.
I don't know what that means.
Mhm.
Modestly 10% bigger,
A
let's
little
say.
bit, they're going to add some more. I don't know. Yeah, modestly,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't mean like
Yeah.
huge amount.
I mean,
but-
so what I get from this is it's okay. It's if they could deliver on a more complete, engaging, and interesting story in the 2 releases
Follow-ups.
after the expansion drops, that's great. If that's what they are only able to do, because they can't put more resources towards it, that'd be good. The only weird thing about it is just the language of it, especially the last bit. This approach allows us a more complete and satisfying story arcs, and it results in a net increase in total content. It kind of feels like a calculation. Like although story isn't
I see.
usually supposed to be
Yeah.
just like
It's
a
not.
calculation of
yeah.
numbers of
It's not more.
like
it's
this
quality.
we're going to give you 5% more story, and that should increase your enjoyment. It's you know what I
I
mean?
like that point you make. Yeah, I think that's a
I
very good point.
agree that it sounds kind of sterile and or calculating, whereas like our experience of narrative and stuff like that, or even being a writer, right? When you initially are just setting out wanting to write, it's this, where's inspiration going to take me? But I do think that it's something that is determined by especially game development and game studios, right? What is the scale and scope of our script?
Yeah.
How long is that? How much are we paying the writers?
Mhm.
How are we balancing it, cumulatively against everything else? And
I mean, it really is a peek behind the curtain in a lot of game development, in that in certain cases story development is very much a numbers game. Yeah.
But I agree that I don't want it to be something where they ever feel like they're having to calculate, like, well, we can only have 500 words on this essay of story that's coming up.
Yeah.
So, like, I really hope that's not the case. I don't think that's the case. If anything, I feel like this might be a good thing again, right? Like I think we saw some really distinctive improvements from Secrets of the Obscure to the overall balancing of Janthier Wilds. Janthier Wilds, some of those installments might have been a little bit shorter, but at least from my personal experience playing through it, I felt like the overall story itself from beginning to end still felt a bit more evenly distributed. It felt more overall like it came together as a unit than that like really sharp drop off that we had with Secrets of the Obscure and then the just like really abrupt ending. And while the final portions themselves I think definitely could have been more robust or at least more climactic in how certain things were resolved or even the spectacle or visuals of certain aspects of the final moments of the story, I think the Janthier Wilds was a pretty good distribution across the board, and that feedback about kind of going, hey, well, actually players would like to have more to bite into when they sit down to play a new release, because then we can make, you know, it doesn't have to just be, okay, this is the episode that talks about this character's backstory in this one glimpse of the map, right? Now we can be like, okay, well, if we're condensing those releases, we're putting them a little bit later, and we're focusing on delivering, you know, a more interesting map to support it and other things like that, then we can still take that kind of better distributed story, but actually kind of flesh it out where those moments have a bit more more bulk to them in like what we're able to do, what we're able to realize, and the scale and scope of the story we'll tell with each. So I think this could be the shift that they need, that could deliver more of a meaningful kind of moment in the story each time we get to sit down to play it. But it will be interesting to see what they do with that time at the start, right? Like, is it going to feel like we get the first release and then it's just like nothing? Or is it going to be like that those systems that they're working on are visible and the improvements that we see are like very direct and they're supporting it with other events or things? I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess another thing that they mention in here is that we're refining the structure, blah, blah, blah. The first quarterly release after the expansion will not include any new story. Instead, it will focus on updates to core systems and long-standing features. Later on, we're going to talk about the fact that we're going to be getting new elite specs, I believe, in the new expansion. Does this line mean that we might be getting the new elite specs in the first quarterly update after the drop?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
No.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I didn't get that impression. I think at first my initial reaction when I read that part, that we're not getting new story or a map for the first update, I was a bit pessimistic, but the more that I've played around with this idea and also, importantly, read a lot of comments on my videos and also on other people's videos, is that the community seems very much interested in bringing a lot of old features up to more modern expectations, and making sure that the elements that we have, for example, like an LFG, could actually be utilized in a more meaningful way. I think that's kind of what is on everyone's lips at the moment in terms of a feature update and modernizing it would be something like LFG. There are other elements that they can go down in terms of new player experiences, dungeons. There is a small line in this post, not in the sections that we're reading, but they talk about how they are going to be homogenizing strike missions and raids into one thing. So they're really going to be focusing on developing a lot of these systems to not be as fractured and hopefully work a lot better. So
I was
hoping. I'd also love to see that same treatment for something like dungeons and fractals. But I'm still a little cautious. I'm not as pessimistic. I'm mostly cautious just to see how much is going to come with that first patch. I hope it I hope it feels meaty in terms of UI updates, LFG, like whatever they are planning. I hope it's a good amount of stuff.
Would you say that you're cautiamistic?
Cautiamistic. Welcome to the stage, contestant number 10, cautiamistic.
The interesting thing though is, right, like if you think about what they're taking, they might be not taking away, because they're trying not to say taking away, right? Because you don't want to say that in a PR post. But like, if you think about the things that they're not giving us in the patch that would come first, which is maybe a new map, and you think about the people they would shift, and wondering about how far do they move over to different places and different systems. If they're just like if they're an art team specifically, that what is that art team going to do? And the environmental team, are they going to move to a different environment where they're, you know, rejigging things and changing things? So that's kind of what I think. If they're shifting,
They'll probably be working on the other two
people.
patches, right? The other two quarterly patches.
They've already got teams. They do that, right? So yeah, maybe they're just going to work more on the other maps and make them more. Yeah, that's
robust.
True as well. Right. I do want to move on because we've got not much time to really talk about everything we've got to talk about. But yes, I think it's
okay.
I like personally. I like it. Engel, I didn't really hear much from you. Do you have any thoughts about that?
So the one thing I'll add, and I'll be quick so that we can.
You don't have to be quick. You talk about what you want to talk about. It's okay.
They mentioned kind of. They mentioned.
Influence.
They mention it somewhere in the blog post that they're also working on improving new player experience. And I, as like the HR person, I'm always concerned about onboarding. So I think that it makes or breaks bringing new people into the game your first impressions of it. And right now, because we've been building on top of things for so many years, you're like, hey, thanks for trying Guild Wars 2. You're about to get a fire hose of information and different things to do. And I think that can be overwhelming for a lot. So I was really pleased to hear that particular statement. And I think a lot of the things like Kroof mentioned in the will kind of kill two birds with one stone there, making those systems just a lot more palatable for new folks into the game and returning players too.
Just a brief anecdote. I'm actually bringing my real life friend into Guild Wars 2. I'm trying to show him the ropes, and he reached level 25. And as a completely new player, I basically had to walk him through what specializations were. And at the very end of it, he was like, if you were not here with me, I would have never figured out any of this.
Are they much of a gamer?
No, it's true. There's a large contingent of new players who get to level 80 not having really unlocked any traits.
That's so true.
And this person is a gamer, so he has knowledge of like game systems and all that stuff.
Right.
Well, it's not something like, okay, there are some MMOs that allow you a flexibility of build, right? And I mean, even like in WoW, of course, you've got like different trees you can go down or different things that you can do. But it's kind of unique to Guild Wars 2 that like as you go through, you're going to want to be unlocking all these other things that are like passive abilities that are in all of your other, menus. But then also you have this other tree, but then you've got your elite spec, but then you've got, and so it's like, from the get-go with all of that, let alone when it comes to even like things with weapon swapping or how you can build your class, because it's not like when you take a look at it, you just see like, I want a healer spec, it is Healy McHealerson. I want this thing, it's, damage, Mr. Damage Face. I need
Thank you for the very, very, very complicated terminology you're using.
I'm going to make a build called
There's somebody claiming those names in Guild Wars 2 right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Logging in like everybody.
Immediately. Just make sure you say TM afterwards and it's fine.
Let alone if people come into this game expecting that tanks exist. Tank McNoface, he's not there. He's gone.
Pretty accurate.
They do for some fights.
In some fights,
That's
but
true.
only in some fights.
That's
So
true.
it is something where from the get-go, Guild Wars 2, because it's unique, because it has this long history, it has a lot of systems that do kind of need some codifying. So I agree. I love seeing that they're looking at this, and I hope it's something impactful, Kroof, like you were talking about with LFG. Even just like unifying those types of content and making them all accessible from like multiple city hubs in the game would even be great. Or, like all of the stuff that we have that's like instanced meta content that's just kind of there, like, or dragon response missions, or there's all this stuff in the game that's all over. So I think them unifying it or looking for ways to make that interface or that understanding of it more accessible is really important. But of course, you want to toe the line between, hey, we've just released a new expansion and we want you to stay excited about it, and also releasing things that might generally be good for the long term of the game, like Final Fantasy XIV has been doing this, but that's not going to apply to your most veteran players typically, who might be interested in those things, but if they go like a long amount of months without getting something new themselves or feeling the impact of those changes themselves, They might be happy about it, but then they might also be restless if they're not getting something that keeps them moving forward or looking forward. So how they implement it in a way that I think has meaning for everybody, which is possible, I think is going to be important. And features like LFG or other stuff like that, I think, have more impact on the community as a whole, new or old player.
Definitely. Okay, let's move on to the next thing, because we are definitely, this could be a long one otherwise today. Not that I care, but I know you all have lives.
Sounds like you care.
I mean, I care because of your time. It's Sunday, you know.
Are you saying we want to spend time with you? All right.
I'm fine. I'm good.
Okay.
I don't care. We used to do 5-hour podcasts. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, guys.
Do you want it to be 5 hours?
We're losing tradition. We're losing our 5-hour podcast.
We're just refining. Right. What was the next section?
Few tricks for every trade. Rook,
Thank
set
you
it up for us.
Building smarter, not bigger.
Nope. Nope. Good try, dude. Good try. One thing will get you affected.
Damn it.
New tricks for every trade. Over the past 2 expansions, we've expanded options for combat by giving you more tools to customize your builds and play your way. Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure introduced new weapon proficiencies for every profession and separated relics from runes to deepen build crafting. The addition of Weapon Master training was also a major step forward in allowing players to freely mix and match elite specialization weapons across builds. And the addition of Land Spears offered a new weapon for every profession to use. With our next expansion, we are taking the next step. Elite specializations are making a return, this time designed to work together with the flexible build crafting system we've been refining over the past few years. However, these new specializations won't come with dedicated weapons. Instead, each one introduces unique profession mechanics, a new trait line, utility skills, an elite skill, a healing skill, and distinct playstyles without locking you into a specific weapon or equipment loadout. These new specializations are designed to feel fresh, fun, and unique to Guild Wars 2, while building on the systems you already know and love. We'll have much more to share soon.
I have important questions about this.
As we all do, probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we talked about
There's
this.
a couple of lines in here that I do want to know if they're just filler or important.
Yes.
Go on, tell us.
Okay. One line is
Over the past
elite
2
specializations are making a return, this time designed to work together with the flexible build craft system we've been refining over the past few years. Were the other elite specs not designed to work with their...
I think the wording is questionable, yes.
Like that entire line though, like that's the purpose of the line, to say that it's now gonna work with our system.
I don't think that's a good line.
I definitely don't think it's a good line, and I think over the years, constant balance patches have kind of fixed that in general.
Yeah.
So we aren't really in that space. But I do feel like there was an era, especially like Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire,
where it introduced a lot of new stuff.
Elite specs were kind of more rigid, and they didn't always pair well with various spec lines that they already had in the core class, at least in my opinion.
I think
the meta was much stricter. But that's kind of an older
no, Crow, you're on the right. You're on the right. I think that's exactly what it is. Because really, like, it's saying, because over the past few years we haven't had elite specializations, and that that's been very intentional, right? So they're trying to move to the weapons. We might have the same point. So with the change of the traits and how they're trying to make things less like percent based, and it's just more refined overall, they're trying to make it, they're saying, based on the system we have now, the last couple of years, the refinement of that, maybe they're making that definition you're kind of saying, proof between the past and now. So they've done this work so they can build on that flexible system so that it's now more like, so it feels like maybe from that sentence it's more intentional that they've been building towards this in a specific way. That's kind of how I, now reading it again, I still think the wording can be great, but like...
Now I'm thinking about new elite specs. So for a long time, elite specs were introduced both as like a fun flavor for your character, a new archetype to play as.
I mean, a new play style completely most of the time.
Yeah, but also to fill holes, like I was about to say, to fill holes in what they can do.
Sure.
and try to like, for instance, by now our elite specs are in such a state that every profession can fill every type of role if given different
Mostly.
specializations.
Yeah.
Quickness giver, electric giver, blah 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 blah, healer.
Whether or
etc.
not they do those roles well is another thing.
Sure, fine. But so if you're introducing a new elite spec and you don't have to think about tapping into those roles, is it trying to say that it's not going to have any elite specs that is necessarily a quickness giver, or because you still kind of need that though? That's the thing. You still kind of need that.
That's
so
what I got from it.
So is it going to work in tandem with other elite specs that are quickness givers?
I would imagine that they aren't worried as much of needing to fill that quota, and more so worried. They seem to be focusing on themes, class themes, class flavor.
Yeah.
So we could see, like, example for Paragon for Warriors. We know that they can already give Alacrity on Bladesworn. This might be another option for them, so that a player who doesn't gel with that play style, they have another option. So maybe we're entering an era of elite specs where they really are focusing more so on class flavor rather than mechanical necessities.
Maybe.
And it's more flexible.
This might be something too where, again, we're kind of seeing behind the curtain, where this might be more of a reflection of their design mentality than it is what we experience, right? Like, so maybe in the past when they were like concepting a new elite spec, they went, what is the new weapon we are giving for this? What is the niche it needs to fill, like you were highlighting, right? What is this thing or this thing? And then they built that and then kind of expanded out to the rest of what it needed to do. So like, okay, but then it also needs to use these weapons. So what abilities will we give it if it has this on? Okay, slap that on, do that. That seems fine. But with them not focusing on having a weapon, or perhaps with them trying to look more broadly at the idea of elite specs, it kind of makes me think of sort of, not really, but like Elder Scrolls Online seem to have a similar design mentality shift, where rather than just kind of releasing something and then being like, okay, yeah, sure, this class might have a strong heal, it might have this or that, they started to kind of look more over time at like, if we release this thing, how will it tank, how will it heal, how will it DPS, right? So maybe they're kind of having a design shift right now where if they're releasing an elite spec, they're looking at it from the perspective of, these are all the weapons that it will have, and across the board, how do we conceptualize its play style like in this broader way with all of these different things taken into account, as opposed to like focusing in on some new weapon or some specific niche it has to fill, if that makes sense. So that maybe it's just a little bit more of like their perspective, as opposed to like, us being over here like, wait, you've just been releasing specs, but you didn't care if they like worked in all the builds.
No, but that's not exactly what I was meaning. I didn't mean that like the past has been bad. I kind of meant like, what about these elite specs going forward is different from the past elite specs that makes it more compatible with the...
They're talking about the last few years that they've changed all the traits and stuff. That's what they're talking about. The system.
We'll also
they're talking
have
about
to...
like, the refined system.
Your way, Boots.
I see what you're saying too, Angle and Boots. But I think it's like, it's going to be a matter of us just seeing the actual trait lines.
Yeah,
and also speculating about those.
Imagine if it's elite specs that can be used as core specs, could replace a core spec instead of...
I think what Rook and Jebba were saying of like a behind the curtain, this might have been kind of that mentality for the writing perspective.
That's what I think. I think it's just like, because the system has significantly changed. I mean, look at what they did with also, they just changed like so much of Engineer. They just changed like flamethrower and bomb kit like so hard. They're refining these older parts of the specs so they can fit in with the elite specializations, but also the trait line changes, like the stats and the amount of like percentages and all that kind of stuff, and just giving you like a flat stat, right, or whatever, whichever way around it is. Like all of that system's changed. So they changed. So I think it's just about building on, because they say refining, like we've been refining over the past few years. Like they've really emphasized that in that sentence. So that's what I'm getting from it. But like you say, I think, you make a good point about that. I mean, let's go on to these specializations as well, unless anyone has a point.
No, really fast. I was going
Go
to pass to Angle, because Angle, it seemed like you had a thought to expand off of boots.
Well, yeah. So when I was thinking about it, and the word, like the flexibility of it, and trying to spin on like what makes this more flexible. And one of the things, and again, I know maybe this is out there, but these skills seemed very like Guild Wars 1 themed to me. And one of the things you can do in Guild Wars 1 is have subclass, which I'm not saying 9 new elite specs for everybody, but what if they're flexible between like armor weights, like your armor class? So you could share these elite specs between the 3 heavy, the 3 medium, the 3 light, and kind of customize your build more in that direction. Which I know is wild.
You are
I
on
know.
the subclass train. No, yeah, Angle. Let's keep it going. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just.
Go for
No,
wild.
I agree.
Yeah, I would have totally agree with that if it wasn't for one other line in here, which is, however, these new skills don't come with dedicated weapons. Blah 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 blah. That doesn't lock you into a specific weapon or equipment loadout. So it wouldn't lock you into a specific equipment weight class. It would, so unfortunately.
Well, unless we want to get on the 9 new elite specs for everybody.
There we go. I think that's what it is.
No, Angle. I like the energy.
That.
I like what you're thinking. Let's workshop it. Let's write an email.
If it's not out there, then it won't happen, right? We got to put it out in the universe.
Exactly. Get out of the universe.
When the first 3 got released, I was like, oh, okay, I think that's it. There's not going to be any more pictures because they're doing 1 per 3 of the different weight classes. And they're going to share an elite spec that they could, or it's going to be a core spec. Yeah, but no, unfortunately, that's not what's happening.
Well,
everyone's really on this everyone's sharing everything train. I think I'm just selfish.
Yeah.
Just like, give everything to everyone that's unique,
because they were Guild Wars players, that's why.
Yeah, it's great to be selfish in some ways, until the thing that you wanted to be selfish about is like the thing you're least excited about. Like,
I'm high-key worried about that, though. Not gonna lie, Rook.
Look. The good thing, Proof, the good thing, everybody, is that if nothing else, new elite specs like make you excited or might lead you down the path of trying, a profession you've never tried before, which is great. Because like we all have a lot of tunes just laying around. I think we've all made a bunch of characters at some point or expanded out our character slots because we can't stop making them for whatever reason, be it aesthetic or otherwise.
So cosmetic, yeah.
Right, like you might have characters. Sometimes I'll have a character that I'm like, oh, I never played them because I never really cared about this. And then a new elite spec comes out and I'm like, okay, hold up. Now I do care. But it's also scary. Like I'm over here with Guardian and I'm like, please just give us something that's not just like, I make a little blue and I jump on.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or
like,
I'm suddenly an assassin. You're like,
according to some predictions that I've seen recently, you get to be a bard, I think, as a Guardian.
I would love Guardian. No
Bardian. I'm on the Bardian train. Big time. Yeah.
Are you also a main Guardian?
I am.
Angle? Oh, right. I see. This is literally the reason.
It's just personal preference.
I love that.
Point. No. I have a little bit of reasoning behind why I think it is.
Because Bardian sounds good.
It does.
Well, yes, but there's also Cardian if we're going that route.
I'm kind of on Cardian train, but I don't. I have a difficult time with Guardian because I'm not sure which icon it is, or maybe it hasn't been revealed yet. There's one missing.
I think
there's people do have wait, Chris, you literally made a video about it.
No, I did.
So is this the new Guardian with the elite spec image in the front?
No, that was just for thumbnail purposes.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were baiting.
You gotta hook people in.
Yeah, that's true. All right, fair.
I do talk about it, but
so you baited everyone and you don't actually talk about it. Wow.
Not entirely. No, I did talk, but we'll get into it.
Well, so what we're going to do now is, because I'm shifting things on, we're going to talk about the first elite spec image that we had this past week, because we already did the week before, and obviously we can reference and talk back to things.
That's the first one?
This was the first one this past week. Not the one.
Oh wait, we didn't. Oh, because you guys already talked about
the one
before.
That one. Yes.
Oh, but we had to see them as a whole.
I mean, my opinions have changed, but
I mean, We have 4 more. We took 2 hours to go through 4 before. If you want to be here for 6 hours, we can do that. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean we don't talk about them necessarily. We can do that as well.
It is something important to note that on the blog post. So we have these teaser images that have been coming out, and on the blog post, we also had images of what appear to be
shit. Yes.
2 of the
Good point.
classes that have kind of like
God damn it.
leaned some people towards, thinking that it's this or this. Like there's
Yeah,
an
that's true.
Asura, Necromancer. It
Which
looks
is very
like
clearly,
Ritualist to me.
yeah,
Correct?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
Ritualist.
Oh, yeah.
Which means also you're gonna have a ritualist dagger, correct?
Well, I do have a question for you. Are we on the train of they wouldn't have shown us these images and said there's Paragon and Ritualist without having given us the symbols first? Or
Oh,
could
y'all,
you have
I'm coming
expected
back.
them to
That's
come
interesting.
later?
That's interesting.
Come back to something interesting.
It depends
I
which.
like this question.
It
I like
depends
this
which
question angle.
sign you think is a ritualist as well.
I think also an important note is that with the new elite specs, they did say they're not adding any new weapons. So any weapons in these icons will be something that the profession should already be able to use. Correct?
Yes.
Right.
Not
Which is
necessarily.
Here it looks like. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Kroof, say more.
Not necessarily, because
Why is that?
they don't have a new weapon. However, I could see a world where, for a profession, their specific profession mechanic change is them utilizing some type of kit or summoning
Yeah.
About this
something to
last week.
represent that type of
That's
weapon.
Fair enough.
So I think I would mostly agree that I wouldn't expect to see a lot of weaponry icons unless there's a lot of profession mechanics where they're just giving classes kits. But
But was a
Yeah.
paragon like really kind of sword? Is a paragon like sword specific? Because that is a very blatant sword,
Paragon's, I think, a spear specific.
right?
yeah,
Is that that is a spear, isn't it? Sorry, that's not a sword. My bad.
Kind of.
Sorry, I didn't see that there.
I believe that's the actual like sun spear.
Yes,
Spear.
Yeah.
it looks like it.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, I didn't see the longer
Yeah.
bit. I went for sword there.
lore helps us in these speculation times. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Where's Fornax?
But also, like, I'm just gonna say that engineers have a lot of green now as well, so you never know.
No.
I mean, come on.
But do engineers wear ritualist outfits?
And do they summon
I
ritualists?
mean, they can if you have the ritualist
Summon
outfit.
spirits?
Let's
I
not
guess
be
you
like
could.
classist
But are
here.
ritualists historically depicted in concept art by an Asura or a Char?
I don't
I
know.
think we can all just agree that
I don't actually know that
Lock
question.
it.
Answer the question. I'm sorry.
Can we all just agree that paragons in general are just real tossers?
I'm thinking,
I mean, maybe.
if you
but I
want a
think they're
description
cool.
of what that, do you know what a tosser is?
Well, yeah,
No.
someone who tosses spears.
Okay, sure.
Oh my god. Okay, but yeah, by that definition, they are tossers.
Thank God Rook
I
lived in
mean,
London.
I'm
It
uncultured.
seems right that
I'll
we
tell you
see what
later, Griff.
appears to be Paragon with a yellow background, which would indicate warrior. And I'm so sorry, Jebro. No matter how much we might squint and hope that maybe this Asura looks like a Char and maybe the green might be affiliated with Enchi, I'm gonna have to say that this is a necromancer and that it is our ritualist. So
yeah, fine.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Also,
sorry.
I still think that's really weird. Like Asura's being like
What do you think is
assigned
weird?
Yeah, but like originally, like Asura's being assigned to like necromancer, like that should have been a flipping engineer. I'm sorry. Like, it does not make
No.
sense. What do you mean
No, 'cause
no? They're
Asura-
literally
because Asura-
scientists.
They're scientists, but they utilize magic in their technology.
Yeah,
they
that's
harness
true.
magic as
All right,
the
stop
source
being
of their
right
tech.
all the time. Sick of you.
Char don't like magic. Char like iron and metal
I
and
know.
magma.
You're right. Fucking hell. Why are you not so knowledgeable about this shit?
I'm sorry.
Honestly,
I
it's
had
terrible.
the ADHD fixation when I was 10, and I was like, ArenaNet Guild Wars 2 is going to be my fixation for the next 15 years of my life.
I mean, it's
Perfect.
also been mine, but like, I'm still wrong about everything.
I mean,
like, at least
skill
be wrong
issue.
sometimes, Kroof. Like, stop being selfish.
If I
Okay, so
really
bring back
thought-
up that picture of the thing that looks like a bulwark of some sort.
Criff, I really thought
Wait,
you were going
what?
to spit that cucumber out.
Are we going to the first
No.
elite
I
specialization?
thought about it.
Are we
I
going to
thought
the
about
first? Are we going to the first
Yeah,
icon? Are we ready?
Yes, please
Are we
do,
ready?
please do.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Let's-
Because I
officially
wanna
bringing
say
to
something about
you
this.
the pirate ship elite specialization for engineer.
Pirate ship.
No.
Ooh, okay, this one.
You
Yeah.
think that's
So-
a pirate ship?
No, I don't.
That is not a pirate ship.
I just wanted it. I was just like, it looks like sails, and then that could be like boats coming towards us.
what?
You know,
I can see it a
It
little.
could.
like
Oh,
not
I
from the
can see
side
it.
more so,
Whoa.
but
I mean,
the
yeah,
front.
okay.
Like you could see there's 4 sails, there's 4 boats coming towards us. Maybe I
You know
don't
what, Chabro? You kind of ate that. I'm gonna give it that to you.
I can see it. I looking at it thought it was a dragon mouth at first.
It kind of does look like a
I
dragon.
thought it was
It
like
does
the
look like a
front of
mouth.
a dragon mouth.
What, like the
but
teeth?
yeah,
The
right.
teeth
like we have a
specifically?
couple dragon models that have a bit of that sort of
Ooh.
like textured maw sort of look.
That's a good point.
But I
That's
actually like your ship perspective because I had not looked at it that way.
No, but I
so
haven't looked at that way either. I mean, that's like a biting kind of So what would that be?
It's
Okay,
definitely toothy.
it is toothy. Hey,
Mhm.
Renee as well. Welcome.
Or clawy.
Clawy. Yeah.
That's a lot. What,
Lara
like
says,
that,
yeah,
or like
a
that's
claw
like
catching
lots
flames
of.
upwards.
The 5 claws underneath it.
Oh,
like
holding something.
curled.
Mm.
So what's it
Yeah,
holding?
But
then?
it'd be weird to have a race specific. Unless it's
Well, that could
unless
be, but it
it's
could be
a
animal
revenant.
based.
Yeah, unless it's a revenant with a char.
So okay, right.
hero.
So let's get some thoughts. Let's get some defined thoughts. What do we think this could? Because I think this is actually the most vague one.
It is very vague. It looks like a shield
So
to me.
vague.
It looks like just on its face it looks like a shield. And it made me sad because we have the Paragon picture release and it is orange and it makes me think that that's a warrior and the warrior one is probably the helmet. So that makes me sad because it would have been cool if this was a warrior shield and you get to
Right.
dual wield shields.
I mean,
Oh, that would've been
we're not doing
fun.
weapons as well. Wait, Boots, I love how you're like, no, we can't do this because of this. And then all of a sudden you're like, what dual shields?
Hey, didn't
Like,
somebody
what the
just
fuck?
say that you could have a special
You could.
kit or something?
You
that's
That's
a shield?
true.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I'm not shutting you down. I'm just saying,
This
like,
is what
stick.
they meant about flexibility.
The point is
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
not
Whatever you
happening.
want.
I don't think it's happening, unfortunately. So this is not warrior.
But
If it's not if it is, let's pretend it's a shield. Who
Why?
would it be? What would it be?
why do we want to pretend it's a shield?
It looks like a
Let's
shield.
the least shield
Let's
thing out of
pretend-
all of our suggestions. I'm
Let's
sorry.
pretend that it's this thing that I think it is, and
Yes. Yeah.
if
We're
you
gonna
all
go down
believe that
other-
it was what I
We're
think
gonna
it
go
is,
down the
tell
other
me-
avenues too later.
tell
How about we have our own
Why?
predictions?
Tell me why I'm right about how this.
Yeah,
thing's
please.
built.
I'd like that.
Thank you, crew, for the translation. We needed you back here for the Boots translation. Like, it's an important part. I feel like we need subtitles
Okay.
underneath that are additional. Like you've got the normal like English, and then we've got Boots English.
And now that we've gotten that out of the way, so if it's a shield,
My God.
Boots, if you think it's a shield, what do you think that this would be about, and what would it do?
yeah, I don't know.
We didn't even get that far, so we were just speculating literally
I
on the
think Ellie.
classes and.
I think Ellie
Yeah.
and like making stuff out of terrain.
Ooh.
Like shields out of terrain and like yeah. That looks like an earth outcropping of a shield kind of thing.
They've got a
Or-
shield already.
Yeah, no, you don't actually hold the shield.
Yes, you do.
It's like a
your kit.
terramancer. You're reshaping, terraforming, maybe.
Yeah,
or-
but you already do that with a kit.
Oh shoot, you actually don't get to do any new. Oh shoot, you don't get to do any new weapon skills, right?
No.
On
No,
any of
it's
these
just
elite
elite
specs.
heal and
Which means
Possibly
that
tool
yeah,
belt
it's
skills as well.
basically all of the theme
tool.
of each of these elite specs is all gonna be given. A lot of it's gonna be given by the utility skills.
as
Yeah.
Boots.
And profession mechanic.
Yeah.
But remember
Yeah.
what Kroof said about the tools, about kits. So they could put kits onto other characters. I think if they do that, it would be a little bit or out of order because, you know, engineers need to get weapons
No, no,
if that happens.
What I mean with kit, there
know what
is
you
the category of kit, but there's also like the profession mechanic of like tomes, transformations,
Sure.
shrouds, resource
Gunblade.
mechanics that
Yeah.
kind of
Wait.
give you weapon skills.
Right, that's true. That's true.
You're saying shield. I thought this was, well, I will say this one is the most ambiguous to me.
Yeah.
I don't quite get what it is, but I always focused on the claws. I read them as claws.
They are claws.
On the bottom part. Some people read them as like the bottom of like a jaw, like it's biting something.
Like, yeah, or the bottom of a shield.
I thought claws, or bottom of a shield. You're right. You can do a lot of crazy stuff
If
and
this
like
is a
put.
shield spec, I'm gonna.
Well, it can't be a
Fine.
shield spec, right? Because we're not doing weapon stuff.
Sorry, Chris. Go on. Sorry, Chris.
Now I'm casting my vote. I'm on Team Rev for this one.
Yeah,
It
fair.
kind of gives me something demonic, and I think a lot of the story is going that way in terms of demons, in terms of mist creatures.
Right.
The Cryptis as well are
Titans.
an interesting race, and I think there was some addition to Malix's voice lines, which talks about channeling a possible Cryptis, which might have been a slight leap.
Okay.
That was actually put into the game quite a while ago. So I've always been thinking of, they've introduced the Cryptis, but haven't given them a lot of lore in terms of like its histories. One interesting way of doing that would maybe be giving it a Revenant legend to maybe just sprinkle some extra life into the Cryptis, and also constantly remind us that the Cryptis are a part of this universe and have a weight in the lore. So it's so ambiguous. It looks kind of like metallic. It looks hard in nature. So I could get Revenant vibes. Revenant's often sharp and kind of dangerous.
I
in
liked
that way.
that going into, rather than pulling from the past and other things, like literally thinking about the recent, like present, and going into new places, and then taking almost these things from these new places that you visit. I like that that's a really nice concept. That's a nice concept. Yeah, that's nice. That would be sick. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Are we ready for another vote?
You
Because
can
I'll
go,
tell you
Engel.
where
No,
I'm
go,
at.
Engel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go.
As long as it's a shield.
So I also think it's shield-like
No!
in the way. Listen, no, not exactly
Angle, we can't do
shields.
this. We can't give him more energy.
Don't give him.
I do think this looks metallic, and I also think it looks like fortifications, like a wall.
Yes. Sure.
Where I actually put the symbol in engineer, as being able to, like, we were talking, I think, a little bit last week about like a metal bending engineer
right.
kind of a thing,
That's
but
right.
like being able to pull up fortifications where you've got like the spikes low on the ground and then a wall to stop
Sure.
mobs coming at you. That was kind of what I
Mm.
was seeing. So maybe more of like a defensive engineer.
Okay, I like
That's
it.
interesting. So what would
I like it because it includes what I was thinking.
Yes. But
Damn
also
it.
a little bit of Kroof gave, like,
Yeah.
said metal and spiky and sharp,
that's true.
and that I was
I
thinking
just
that
want to
too.
show off the wonderful sheet that Engel made with
Oh my gosh,
Malcolm's.
here's my conspiracy
Yes.
board.
I love that. I love how you've made
I
this.
took like
looks
3
really good.
hours to put this together. To be fair, Malcolm's TV joined me, and so they're the symbols in red. Those are their guesses, and then mine are the one in blue.
Oh my
But yeah,
God,
we
you
were
guessed
going.
engineer for Bard. I really like you now. I
Malcolmus
really
did,
like you.
not me. I
Oh
guess.
wait, sorry. I really
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Malcolmus. I dislike you a little bit more because
Oh, well.
like you put that sign there. I actually don't believe we've seen engineer yet, but I like the idea of the fortifications. That's nice as well. Yeah, it does give that kind of. So yeah,
What if
I
it's
guess
like
boots.
obsidian based? Like obsidian fortifications of some sort.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I could see it being kind of like
Maybe.
the like obsidian kind of has those sharp angles to it,
Yeah.
right? Where it like
Yeah.
chips or I
Mhm.
can see that. That's cool.
Do
Um,
you have any?
I love
Nuance,
all of I love your theories. I too looked at it, and even though I said Dragonmaw earlier, I really was thinking that kind of looks like a shield. And
Yeah.
I
I love
Yeah, I'm
how
out.
Boots and
Yeah,
Rook
I'm
have
out.
come back after so long, and then they're going to be
Everybody-
leaving again
everybody
next week.
laughed
It's
at
like
me.
weird. Like, and they're going to have another
cheered,
5 month
Everybody
break.
here was like, "You're an idiot," and then one by one.
Dominoes
Jesus
fall.
Christ.
okay. I actually did not see shield. I truly thought it looked like some kind of creature mouth. I think partially because Younger Oreen the front of her face is so weird.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
It's really weird, and it has
That's
those
right.
kinds of lines. It's weird in a way I
Yeah.
love. Let me be clear, and I only know this because I've spent so much time looking at it because I love her dragon models like across the years.
So are you thinking this is like an orthodontia elite spec?
Yes, I think this is a dentistry one. I think that no,
It can't be a
Dragon
dragon
dentist.
though. It can't
Here
be
we
a
go.
dragon though. That's the thing. Because
Well-
we've already got Dragon Hunter. So it can't be like
Well,
a dragon, right?
And Oreen.
Dragon Hunter hunts dragons, but we
Right.
don't have anything that's actually about channeling draconic magic.
True.
Or
Very
about dragons. And I will posit something else in here, which is that the translated quote that we got for this one, as
That's
far
right.
as I can see,
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
with
what's the translation?
sharpened will I cleave the wind. In pursuit of shadows, I stir the waves.
Oh, so maybe it
Mm.
is a pirate ship.
Yeah, maybe.
I
it's
tell you
pirate ship.
what, if it ends up being a pirate ship or some kind of thing like that, I'm just gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Sorry, go
so
on,
as-
carry on. Where did you
No, no,
get?
no,
So as a
so-
reminder, Rook, where did you like? These poems have come from.
Oh, yes, of course. So in the Chinese version of Guild Wars 2, the teasers that they've been giving out have been accompanied by these short poems, and these have been translated potentially, right? Take us with a grain of salt. This is a loose translation that was done via Reddit user Tromed. So this is where we're all getting this. But that was the teaser that went with this one. And so I feel like personally, cleaving the wind, stirring the waves, it brings to mind like salt spray dragons or something like that. But I don't know. I have no idea. So my two thoughts for this one, because actually, Kroof, I'm gonna be real. You made a compelling argument for me on that Cryptus front. So I actually really like the idea of it being like a Cryptus mouth or something, and maybe going Revenant. Or conversely, my wild theory was Elementalist because of the water and wind
Yeah.
that are in the quote,
Yeah, I like
and that it might have something to do with manipulating elements via something with maybe draconic. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, to be fair, so now that I'm thinking about it, I also mentioned elementalists bringing up fortifications. I feel like my problem is that I've touched on too many things now of what this could be.
Yeah.
So every time you guys say something, it sounds like something I was thinking. So I think you know what? I don't know what this is, and I'm gonna stick with
Okay. I might be changing my answer.
You don't have.
Okay.
It
Maybe.
doesn't. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, you can change your answer if you need to.
No, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in.
Do we-
I
or
do
do we
think
have
it's
to, like,
probably Revenant,
commit?
but I also could maybe see Guardian. I don't. It's metallic in nature, and the poem itself with sharpened will. I'm thinking maybe
Cleave
monk.
wind.
It could be like some type of fist weapon.
Oh,
That they Yeah.
Like a clawed
sharpened
fist.
will. I cleave the wind in pursuit of shadows.
Yeah, but
So
cleave
it's like
the wind though. What would that be for like a?
It really
fist
does sound
weapon?
like
loose
a pirate.
translations.
It
It
sounds
could-
like a pirate ship. I
don't know,
cleave the
the-
wind on my
Yes, me and
ship.
Boots
I
on the
stir
same
the
train.
waves in pursuit of shadows.
Yes,
Yeah.
me and Boots have joined forces.
I mean,
The
I think
tides
it's a
have turned.
shield
No
shaped
pun
like a
intended.
pirate ship.
The key word of will, I also find very specific to Guardians. We had the whole will bender, and
Proof
there's like.
isn't on the train, Boots.
But I'm gonna stick with Revenant. I'm gonna say Revenant for now. Possible slight flex Guardian. I don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna say I have absolutely no idea, other than potentially pirates. But I really do. I think I like the draw, like being a draw. It's just a draw.
Draw.
You just pull things out of the drawer. Weird to expect. Yeah, I this is the one where I'm like, if it ends, I bet it
This
ends
might
up
be
being
one of
engineer.
those-
I bet it's engineer. I bet you.
It's gonna be like
It's gonna be engineer.
we're gonna find all the other ones first, and this will be process of elimination. We'll figure out which one this is.
Sure, we can do that.
Weird
That's
one.
another way
I
of doing
do-
it.
I
That's
do
for
like
sure.
the idea of an elite spec channeling dragon powers instead of hunting them.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I like
Yeah.
that idea, Rook.
Dragon's champion. Yeah.
Look, I'm just gonna be. Thank you for bringing back one of my previous ones, Boots. I really appreciate it. I will just be over here, like, give us a dragon elite spec for the rest of my
Yeah.
days. But I don't know. I feel like this one is pretty ambiguous. I think that a lot of the ways you could read it, it feels like it's more abstracted in its concept than many of the other items, or the things that are being represented. So until we actually know, I think, what they are trying to represent with this, it's kind of hard to tell.
That's
exactly
truly a
what it
good
is.
teaser image as well, because like Engel as well came up with like also the reinforcement of things and like things like growing and like being reinforced. I like that idea as well. And then you've got, so we're gonna move. I don't really have much other than what I just said, so I'm not gonna not say what I think it is, but also I have no idea. I'm just gonna say Ellie. Because I hope it's not engineer. Because I have no idea what it is, but who knows? But I think this one might be a little bit more obvious, and I feel like this is very intentional. Because it's clearly that I had my knife in my pocket and sat on it spec. It's that, right?
I mean, it looks like
Man,
ritual.
you got a
Is it my-
hard ass.
Thanks, Criff.
Yeah, bro. No problem, bro.
It's
That
okay.
shit- that
Everyone
shit
come to
tight.
the party in PAX West and you can find out. Wait, that sounded really
Oh my
bad.
God. Oh my God.
Sorry about that. So no.
Wow,
from
Deborah.
afar, you can look at it if you want to. I'll probably cover it though
Good.
now.
So,
It's a
so yeah,
Go.
if we're gonna go full in on the ritualist thing, this is probably a ritualist knife, right?
Is it though?
Would yes?
I agree, but I
Is
don't
it
like
though?
it. Can I say
Yeah.
that? Can I be
No,
honest?
but can we go forward with it though and say what does that mean for the skill elite spec itself though? Does that mean that to summon our spirits we have to like sacrifice life?
Force?
Oh.
Oh.
Hmm.
Got to do some sacrificial stuff in this elite spec?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be sort of okay, right? You can use a knife in a lot of ways. Sure, yes, you can use it as like sacrificial offering, stuff like that. There's also like ritual knives, like a thames. I don't know if I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it correctly. That are kind of like just ritualistic, symbolic daggers that are like used on altars, stuff like that. That may be used in part of those rituals. So I don't know if you have to like go around just like going wild. You could. I mean, you could maybe. But I could see it being that. It could be a ritualist dagger. I mean, of course, people talk about the kind of like the ninja or assassin-y kind of vibe that could also be sort of indicated, but how that would be different from some of what we already have, I don't really know.
I think people thought it was Assassin before they saw the blog post.
Yeah, that makes sense.
this came
I
out
did.
after the blog post.
Wait, did it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
Then I-
I did because I saw
Oh.
the
As soon
blog
as you
post
saw it, you
afterwards.
saw.
I saw as
okay.
I saw it, I thought Assassin because I didn't read the blog. No, wait, I thought the blog post came out.
Yeah,
after.
but in my mind, an
I didn't.
assassin would be
You're
smart
right, you're
enough
right.
to use a straight and pointy dagger, right?
Or
Like,
they
It
like to
depends.
make
There are
messy
different
kills.
styles of daggers for assassins. Have you have you seen the weapons in Guild Wars 2? Like, there are weird shaped
yeah,
daggers.
but like if you're a good assassin, you're gonna be, a little
I mean, that's
more
gonna
efficient.
cause some some
Actually,
damage.
I think the concept art for the assassin in Guild Wars 1, all of their daggers were kind of curved and like janky a little bit. They're very modern looking daggers, I'll say that.
Okay.
But I originally was against the idea of ritualist only because of Guild Wars 1's ritualist was very much focused on the purity of channeling. Its icon was an eye, which I would have loved to have seen.
Mm.
But I've been convinced over the days because also you have to keep in mind that this is a ritualist through the lens of a necromancer.
Yeah.
And necromancers in
that's true.
Guild Wars 1 had a lot of sacrifice skills. And ritualist had a couple sacrifice skills as well. So I think that this is going to be ritualist for the icon. I just don't like it. I don't really think it screams what I picture for a ritualist in Guild Wars 1, but that's what my
You'd
gut's
rather
telling me.
you think it is, but you'd rather it isn't.
I would rather it have just been a different symbology.
Okay.
I just looked at the assassin abilities and the dagger mastery, and there is an ability called Jagged Strike.
We're doing the
just
deep
thinking-
dive with one
I was
skill
just
name.
thinking
Let's
one
go.
skill name, one skill name. I mean, it
It's
can
the
be
straight
sometimes
line.
it can be all enough. I was just looking. I was like Jagged Strike. Okay. I mean, just keeping it open.
Wait.
Keeping it open.
It is weird. I have been searching since I saw this icon. I've been searching for like almost every dagger I could think of that had some kind of meaning. Even I was like, hold on, did Shiro have something that was like, or was there something affiliated with him that was like a jagged blade? Because I feel like the silhouette of this dagger is distinctive to me, but for the life of me, I cannot find what it is. I've looked at
the same thing.
Right? I've like looked for the cloth Connor, and I was like, no, that doesn't look like that. I've looked for like a bunch of different daggers or just things from Guild Wars 1 where I'm like, would it be this? Would it be this? And I cannot find a single thing. And yet I still feel like there's something we're all missing that's like a reference to this.
I know.
Now,
it's weird.
Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I can't find anything.
I know what I know what you mean.
Right? Like,
yeah, I thought it was like Elder Scrolls or something for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. And you're right though. I had the same thought.
Yeah, my guess is that it's going to be Ritualist. Just because that makes sense right now for me. And I don't know what other icon they would use. Per se.
Right. Unless they haven't, because there is one more left. We don't like, but otherwise, I mean, it makes.
Well, I think Ritualist is still the little orb with the two swirlies around the outside.
That does look a little bit like an eye.
I'm still solidly standing in that club.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think this is then, Engel?
I will put a foot in there with you, honestly.
Hold on. We are forgetting a component here, which is the quotes. So
True. Okay,
That's
that's where I was also going to say the quote is very important for this one.
Yes, the 6th teaser, the dagger. Through sacrifice, the unseen is stirred. With radiant blade, the frost is scorched.
Yeah, that's very. Yeah.
When I read that, my heart broke.
The frost is
Hang
scorched,
on, though. We have frost and fire. I put the dagger in Elementalist.
You know
but
what?
I was seeing it more like the sacrifice doesn't necessarily have to be in Necro's box. Like there are other rituals and sacrifices that like other classes could be doing. You don't have to tie it down straight to Ritualist.
I mean, Engineer
strange,
literally sacrifices his life at times.
You know what, Angle? I'm gonna go down this.
I think you're going down it, Crit, because you just don't want it to be ritualist.
No, I could see that is absolutely true. But there is another interpretation there. I understand this interpretation as well, because throughout all these poems, it is being translated from Chinese, and there's oftentimes differentiations between what the meanings really are based off of English text versus Chinese text.
Mm-hmm.
But there's oftentimes this motif of something shadowed or something hidden throughout all of these. So the word of the unseen is stirred might not necessarily mean a spirit. It could be the shadowed, like that all of these poems are kind of chasing after.
Yes.
And then for the poem for the orb one, it says the silver flow hardens into form. If we're kind of shifting and giving it grace, it could mean like the silver is like the mist. So a ghost hardens into form. It becomes corporeal. So I kind of see what you're talking. There is a way to read into both that I think are actually both quite valid.
100%. Like,
it's also so strange for the 6th one. The through sacrifice, the unseen is stirred sounds like so ritualist.
It does.
But then the second part of it, with radiant blade, the frost is scorched, sounds completely different. It sounds like a completely different spec.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could think of myself was that sometimes like spirits or the afterlife, like ghost sightings have like a cold element, or like the idea of death is that you go cold.
Well, I mean, Necro is frost as well, like lots of chilling.
Yeah. So like the idea that like through sacrifice you are stirring ghosts or the unseen, and then you are in a way giving them life. And Ritualist was, if I'm remembering, it had a lot of debuffing, right? Did it have a lot of like?
So I'm trying to Ritualist as well. It's a lot of summoning, it's a lot of energy upkeep. So you're sacrificing energy. You do sacrifice some health. They would buff and debuff players. So
okay, so yeah, I wonder if like that might have something to do with like, I don't know, the cold and ghosts, life, heat, or like scorching. You know, they apply things to enemies or to allies. It's so interesting too because that silver flow, I've been wondering about that one myself. Like people were wondering initially if it might be dervish. I know you all already talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it has that kind of spinning element. But hearing the quote on this, it makes me almost think of like Toph and metal bending from Avatar: The Last Airbender, which could be an elementalist, or it could be like you were saying, a less literal, like metaphorical interpretation of something like bringing ghosts into a physical world or tangible life. So yeah, I think you can read them both. I think my bet would be that the dagger is ritualist, but that's just me personally. So
I wonder if a native Chinese speaker reading the things are like, oh, I know what this is. This is easy.
Yeah, I wonder what that is like as well. If they're like, oh, this is obviously this class.
I do want to say as well,
gets translated into English.
These translations are completely wrong and we are like disrespecting people, etc., etc. I do apologize. Like I wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, they're not translations.
Just an important note.
They are
like,
community translations that are given to us
that might not be fully accurate. So we just want to make sure we respect, cultures, etc. But like it's not going to be way off, I guess.
It is also of note, though, that in the teaser image that we got of Ritualist, they don't have a dagger.
Yeah.
So I'm just tossing that out there as I look at it. Yeah, like there's no dagger. So unless it's just they have to use some kind of weapon, right?
I mean, because
they're not given any weapons.
Because Necro has a dagger already, then it makes it more. But like you say, like there is not going to be a weapon that ties directly to one of these. But
which is why I didn't want this to be. Which is why I kind of have a problem with it being ritualist, because it just doesn't. I don't think the icon really conveys what ritualist is truly about, even with the idea of sacrifices.
But remembering
like a dagger is a strange icon for me.
But remembering,
do any of the icons signify what ritualist is
I
truly
think the
about?
icons are just
honestly the third one probably.
I think they always try to
like amorphous.
They know they're going to give us teasers of these, and I think they do design them vaguely because of like they know this is going to be such a big deal. I think sometimes I'm just like, I know you want to like it's gonna link to it, and it will, but at the same time they really like. I think they do.
But I like this though. Let's say let's go off the ritualist track then, and let's say the third one is ritualist. What would the dagger be now?
That is a good question.
Assassin.
But then that would also change the cards.
Yeah.
Hey, why would it change the card? Oh.
Because if you think thief is associated with the cards, then you have to change that to another profession.
I mean...
Maybe honestly, I could see what Engel's talking about in terms of like the third one is Necro, the fourth one, or
but doesn't assassin have to be a thief though? That's the thing. Like if you're saying if it's going to be a thief, like does it have to be a thief? It doesn't.
It'd be strange if it wasn't.
I think it could fit into a lot of places, especially if we're talking about like utility skills and maybe possibly magic, given to classes that don't typically have it. I'm spitballing, but it could be it's the radiant blade. Maybe it's like light.
Yeah, because guardian and radiant. I was gonna say radiant is a very guardian-y word, and it hasn't got a chill. No, it does have a chill effect for one thing that I can remember actually for hammer, I think. Although that may have changed. The glacial
everything
hammer
is guardian stream done. It's just
wait, is this guardian?
But the first part though, but I don't think it is though.
My brain is going way far over there now.
I'm going through the motions.
I'm sorry.
Through sacrifice, the unseen is stirred though.
Because Radiant uses a lot of fire. They do channel divine elements.
True.
But why would they give a dagger icon to Guardian?
It's very weird.
I mean, maybe just to try and give Guardian something that feels... I mean, we kind of got it with Willbender.
Very different.
The Guardian doesn't
which is what you were talking. Rick, you were talking about this earlier, like having something which is not like just a blue light thing on the floor. I mean, this is the opposite of that.
I don't want
the total opposite.
It's true, but I don't want daggers for my.
Bring it up, bro.
Oh, you're on the boots train. I see. I wanted to be the figure, right? Okay. I love how this goes. It always happens every time we do this. It's like the elite specs just go into there's these logical reasons, and then it's like, well, I don't like that, so it's gonna be this thing.
Oh,
instead.
100%.
thing
Will
is
it into
that
existence, everyone. It's okay.
as players, right, they want to make things they know will appeal to the player base or that will catch players' interest. So, like, of course, I think, like, our feelings on, do we like this? Do we feel like this would be something we need or want for a class?
Absolutely.
Is it different than what we have in a fun way? Does it align with a class's certain aesthetic, virtues, whatever it might be, right? Those are things they take into consideration. With daggers, I oftentimes think, if I'm just looking at this imagery alone, right?
Yeah.
If we don't know exactly what it is, with daggers, I think light, dexterous rogue. I think sometimes even multi-wielding with like rapier dagger. I think of quick stabs. With a crooked dagger, that indicates to me a sense of something that is
Sinister.
crooked, sharp, sinister. So yes, I think everybody talking about assassin, while we already have things that kind of, I think, hit on that, it is something that I think the icon alone could indicate. Is it possible that this blade could be something else that's like a way to add a radiant scorch or brilliance to all of the stuff that you do? You imbue weapons, like you're a weapon enchanter of sorts, and you kind of like that crooked blade is meant to indicate something more like a non-conventional empowerment or magic, kind of like we had Engelsler touching on. A conduit for something like that for classes that might not have it. Sure, like maybe we see that. Yeah, I don't know personally. It's interesting to me that so many folks don't like, well, I guess it's not that they don't like dagger with ritualist, maybe just that the icon itself could be more cool looking and kind of indicate something about like spectral stuff. But like I think the dagger for me resonates well with the idea of something like ritualist in particular, because so I mentioned earlier Thames or Atems, I don't remember how they're pronounced, but they're basically
Fames.
ritual
It is Fames, yeah.
yeah. Like ritual daggers or knives that are used as a tool for directing energy and symbolically cutting through negativity or illusions during rituals and spells. And even going back to many different ritual things, I was looking some stuff up here in the background. Egyptian craftsmen oftentimes made them and created decorated daggers used for temple ceremonies or ritual sacrifices. So
Yes.
I feel like, to me, it reads best that way, unless we're going to see something like a duelist, an assassin. You could maybe have a swashbuckler that had an offhand dagger kind of thing. Here's our pirate, maybe. I mean, I think they're all possible, but to me, it feels like those things are more generic in a sense than something that I think we're fishing for that is like specific to this imagery. Because
I think that also, just to maybe put a little bit of a bow on this so we can go to the next one, I think Aurora Peachy could be right. As they said, Shankomancer. Very important. Like, Aurora Peachy literally is obsessed with shanking people, so Shankomancer was a pretty well educated guess. I'm not sure it's good, but I like the name at the very least. Yeah. And it is necromancer oriented, so. Shankomaster.
I think we got to put the kibosh on it being a guardian, though, because first of all, guardians don't have daggers to begin with, and second of all, it'll be like their specs are virtues, honor, valor,
exactly.
Stabbing myself.
Yeah.
I mean, again, but like it can go the opposite way.
Okay, I don't want this to be for Guardian, but here's a way that I could see it being spun. Sometimes you might use a knife to make a blood pact, or to like
sacrifice to gods. Like, I mean,
sacrifice to gods,
like some sort of ritual.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
You might swear a vow, essentially, right? You might swear a vow and then seal it with something like blood. So I think it's a bit of a stretch, but if we're concepting things for it, like maybe that could be a thing, that it would be like a knife or something that you would make pacts on, or oaths, or swear virtues of some kind upon. Maybe you could do that. Yeah, but I don't care about this knife one. I actually mostly care about the next one.
Oh,
Okay.
100%.
Should we
$100%.
go to the next? I do want Engel to talk about this first, actually, because I think Engel hasn't had the opportunity to go first. What do you think about the Firefox-esque thing?
Yes, I have
Dun-dun.
thoughts. I put this in Thief, and hear me out.
Oh.
Thief in the original Guild Wars has 4 skills that are themed on foxes. There's Fox Fangs, Way of the Fox, Fox's Promise, and Golden Fox Strike, which all are enchantments that make their next attack or subsequent attacks unblockable. I could see this being assassin, because assassin in that way, and so I put it into the thief class.
Because it's kind of like
that,
a
actually.
it kind of could be a like it looks like a mask as well.
It does. It looks kind of like the masks from the bad
Black
guys
Lion chest.
in BioShock.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say we've literally got the like bunny, like the kind of fox bunny mask thing, which kind of looks like both a little bit.
I don't disagree with
Yeah.
Engel. I think that's a really a very, very strong possibility. I think foxes oftentimes as well in various mythology are affiliated with like trickster spirits or things like that. And even in Guild Wars 2, we have that sort of the sort of spirit foxes that appear with those boxes as well. And that kind of come in and out, which feels like it could work well with something like Thief, where maybe you have those like buffs you can add, but then you can also you have that stealth element, or you can come in or out or stuff like that. So I definitely think that one is a strong contender, and maybe they just give it some other name. I don't know, like they give it some cool name themed with foxes or whatever. I've seen people talk about ninja, which could be something similar. Okay, these are my 2 wild spins on this. One is less wild. One is that I think most likely, if we're just going based off of what class has animals, ranger. So I think that like there's a strong possibility this ends up being a ranger spec, and it has something to do with spirit foxes and stuff like that. The quote that we have for this one from the Chinese source is, "Summon the wilderness back to the source, heal the world along its bounds." So it makes me wonder if this could be some sort of ranger spec that maybe has to do with touching in with the primordial life force or natural spirits of the world, or the fox spirit maybe being your guide in that sense, or companion, and that like through that you're able to do healing things, beneficial things, cleansing things, something like that. Though that wouldn't have to be the whole spec, since we already have a lot of healing stuff and things already on ranger.
It's interesting that they use the word healing though in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really blatant. Like,
healing is right in there.
Word to kind of put in and just be like, because will there just not be a healing elite spec?
Well, there will.
I mean, they
I think-
probably will, right? Yeah.
I think these elite specs will have flexibility to kind of maybe hit a couple things like damage and healing and like tanky bruisery stuff.
Right. My one really wild one, which I don't really know if it works with the quotes, but and hear me out, ArenaNet. Give it to Guardian.
I was gonna say that.
ArenaNet. Give me the Spirit Fox. Give us here that play Guardian the Spirit Fox.
It may be a
Just
little bit
give
late
it
for them to
us.
change that, Rook, but just you keep going.
And here's my justification. I think it could work because we canonically have the Shrine Guardian in game,
Yeah.
who is a like spirit force that has been around in the game for a long time, dating back to the events of Guild Wars 1. And Cantha as a protector and an entity that has been a protector or aid in the world in various locations throughout Cantha, and we even see them protecting and doing this role in the final meta of End of Dragons. So like, to me, I think it'd be really cool if we got to have some sort of spin as Guardian, where we got to work with a different Guardian force and use that as a way to protect, unify, or heal the world's wounds, if you will, in some way. I'm like, please and thank you. That's what I want.
I can see that. I
I'm
can
eating
see
this
that
up.
actually working though. Don't. It's not wild. It works.
No, I actually would love if this was Guardian. My initial reaction was Ranger, because of also the poem The Wilderness, but that doesn't necessarily mean like wilderness has to be nature, perhaps.
Yeah. Also, the fact that it's like wilderness and then heal the world.
Yeah.
With it seems like it's treading too far into druid territory. You know.
I was about to say, it seems like it'd be a little too close to Druid, and Ranger already has a very strong healing spec. Guardians, Firebrand does have the capacity to heal, but their traits are not necessarily really in that direction. They're a lot about buffing allies, but they are very strong healers. I think they could add a different, more pure healer elite spec similar to that of Druid, where it really is focusing in on its supportive capabilities and defending allies. And I love the lore justification of the Shrine Guardians. If we're getting Ritualist, that definitely indicates that we are drawing on Canthan lore, and we last saw Shrine Guardians in the Canthan region. So yeah, I think this would be good. And the ears of this icon are kind of flame-like, or they look a little like perhaps wispy. So they could be like the blue flames of the Guardian. They could be like the magical essence. So those were my two guesses as well. Would be like Ranger or Guardian perhaps. But I've also heard Elementalist.
Oh, you're about to hear a new one from me.
You know.
Is it Mesmer?
No, it's Thief.
Oh.
Oh, you're on the thief train.
Okay.
If you think so, what I like to do when there's something like an animal, or like I really go into, it's like analyzing dreams, for example. Like I do that with clients quite a lot. And what the feeling of a fox is for a lot of people is sneakiness, because if you live like in London, like foxes are quite common. Like they go into bins, they, you know, in the night they're quite loud, like in the dark sometimes, especially if they're mating. God damn. It sounds like people killing each other. It's really brutal. But like foxes are known for being like cunning is one of the like cunning fox, you know, like it's a really like strong, I don't know. And I'm just reading things about like spirit, like what the spiritual like meaning of a fox is. And they're talking about like resilience and instinct and intelligence and mischievousness, and but also like wisdom. Like, you know, like there's all these words that come up and I'm like, why are you laughing so hard, Rick?
And we're sure.
Nothing. We just thought you were going to say something that you didn't, but don't worry about it.
Rook and I had a moment where we shared our brain cell.
Wait, can you like DM me the word and I'll say it?
It's in group chat.
It's in chat. It's in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, fox friends. Wait, what?
Don't say it out loud. Anyway, let's
wait. No, I want to know. But do you know what I mean? Like in terms of
When
that,
foxes
like
are foxing.
like what a fox is like in that way. But the thing is that it's the healing word in there. But I'm like,
yeah, and we're sure it's a fox, not a bunny, right?
yeah,
And just got Spectre.
it could be. I mean,
It could be.
I think it's more I don't know. I think
Yeah,
the ears are
aren't
more
long
like
enough, I guess, for a
pointy.
bunny. Yeah.
Bunny ears are more like rounded, I think, generally, like at the top.
Yeah.
I get either bunny or fox.
The ears
I
are
would
like
prefer
perfectly
fox.
sized to be somewhere in between the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people were saying kitsune, a spirit, fox, nine-tailed class kind of situation.
I could have easily, like, you know,
Jebra found the word.
honestly, Rook and Kroof, yes, they are kind of.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
They have some attitude. That's why I thought you were going
But
to
that
say
fits
it.
more in a thief. That fits more in a thief category than a guardian's category, right? But like, you know, unless you're really, really bad at healing.
Or you just been healing for too long. If you've been healing for too long, you also fall
that's
that
true.
category.
That's
Become
true.
jaded. You're
Yeah.
like, these damn kids can't stand out of the fire.
Do you want to, if we're going to talk about the healing route, do we want to talk about what?
Well, bitch, you
Because
can
we've
talk about
mentioned a
whatever you
lot of
want because you
different-
haven't
Guardian?
actually predicted yet.
We've mentioned a lot of professions that it could be.
Sure.
What do you think needs a healing spec more than others?
Guardian healing alacrity.
No, please God, no.
Yes, please.
They
Please reading
don't
that,
have
yes.
healing alacrity. They have healing quickness, but no healing alacrity.
I
And a
don't-
lot of the
don't
healing
want
rolls give
alacrity.
alacrity.
Don't want to like it.
True.
Or we don't want quickness or alacrity in game, but they're here. They're here.
We don't want a lot of things in the world, Japro, but they're here.
But those
So-
things
They're here.
Let's get
Quickness
rid
and
of-
alacrity are a part of this game landscape. So no, I agree with you, Kurv.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anybody else that like really needs healing.
Warrior,
is
but we know
Warrior-
they're getting
yeah.
Paragon.
Yeah,
they're getting Paragon though.
Yeah,
so
but Paragon doesn't.
they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They support, they buff, they enhance. I think they'll
That'll-
probably put
that'll
healing
be
into
fine.
it. Yeah.
Mm.
Mesmer doesn't have Mesmer has good healing alacrity specs and healing and
I still
quickness
think Warrior's
specs. The Chrono is just very good, but it doesn't have a very strong heal centric. Like it's not a very good
I think
heal.
they're gonna fool us with Warrior. I think it's gonna be Valkyries. Still. I think they're fooling us.
Oh, oh yeah. Or but what?
God. Can you imagine if they like had faked everybody out with these Guild Wars 1 classes that people have been demanding
This
for
is
ages,
what I
and they were
mean.
like,
I'm very
and they were
like.
it's just Ghost Talker, has nothing to do with Ritualist.
Shiburito, like you're saying, there's no way they do that, but you never know. I mean, and RealNet literally trolled us with the Commando elite spec.
No, I mean-
Do you think that this is a troll? You think,
You think this is an April Fool's joke?
Everything, and they're just gonna drag it out the expansion release till April.
Like, I don't actually
Maybe not.
believe that. I do really think they're delivering them, especially too because at least that image that
Oh,
we
no,
have
they
of
actually
the
are, yeah.
Necromancer Ritualist, like
Yeah.
those are the exact same ghost models that we've
Yeah.
seen on the Ritualists
Yeah.
in End of Dragons and Cantha. So I
Exactly.
feel like they're going to be giving us those Guild Wars 1 specs. Now, are we going to have all
Yes.
of them?
Yeah.
Like, is Dervish going to be in there? I don't know. Are we? But I think at least Paragon. I feel
Time, maybe.
comfortable saying that like Paragon and Ritualist are going to be there.
Yeah.
do any of these icons look like a monk?
What?
Maybe the
Yeah, the
fake one.
fist one, the
I'm spinning on the fist one. I've been like
Ooh.
ruminating actually because it
Which
kind of
Phrasing.
looks like this. And now I'm like, I might have to give up my
could
Guardian
be.
dreams.
it could be Guardians. See what-
I think it could be because I do think we're getting the Guild Wars 1 classes. I
Which
think
one's
we're
the
going to
fist
see
one?
Dervish and the
Maybe
shield looking one.
yeah,
Oh, the
one with
shield. Yeah, of
shield.
course. the
Yeah.
shields.
I could see that.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where this fox is going to land, but I agree with you, Jebra, in the fact that I think thematically it feels the most intuitive to something like Thief.
Yeah.
And yet, I kind of hope that at least like on some of these, they might shake it up a bit. Because I think that's kind of my request for some of the elite specs. It doesn't have to be for all of them. Like we've gotten some really cool elite specs over the years for different classes, but I feel like some of the professions, Guardian being one of the ones that kind of is notable to me, it feels like our range of stuff that we do thematically hasn't really reached its full potential. And I would kind of like to see them play with and get creative with some of the ideas so that like, yeah, maybe you have a character that's a guardian that you started out with, but you want to like continue playing around with what the theme or the feel or the vibe of that character might be over the years. And so if you can find different ways to interpret the same core heart of the class, but sure, to add something in that feels a little bit different. I think that to me, that is, I think that's primo. I would love that. And like Willbender
Depth,
kind of
yeah.
got there a bit for Guardian, but I think that it would be fun to see them give some of these to other classes and other professions just to kind of shake it up for them. So I don't know. I think Thief, but I'm hopeful
Underneath,
that maybe
Rook
they'll
is
end up
like,
somehow.
yeah, it needs to be Guardian. Yeah. Boots,
I
you've
think it
not,
does.
Boots, you've not really given us like a strict
Which is very
definition
uncharacteristic of you.
I mean, very much so. So it makes me feel like you don't have as many feelings about this one.
No, I mean it could fit into so many places, but that it's places that are already taken up by different things, either in the icons we see or in the game already. So I'm.
Are you really hooked on like the healing word specifically, or?
Well, I'm hooked on the healing and the nature words in that.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah.
So I'm worried that it is another ranger spec, which would be weird. If it is a Healy ranger, but if it's a Kitsune, I'm thinking maybe Mesmer.
Remember, healing doesn't necessarily have to be about other people. It can be about you. So it could be a tanky spec where
True.
you build yourself up into something. Like, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
So it could also be like yourself.
Yeah.
Because
True.
foxes
Someone
are
who's
very
living in the world of the
self-reliant.
source.
Like foxes are pretty self-reliant things.
It's true.
Animals,
It does
sorry.
say heal the world, though.
Heal the world.
Damn.
I mean, that could be something where maybe if you're like,
Mm.
I don't know, this is me just conceptualizing in my head. If you're like sending energy through the like ley lines of the world or something, maybe
Oh.
it wouldn't necessarily have to be that like you are like healing other players. It could be that either like the land rises up to act accordingly. It could be that, I don't know, flower meadows bloom and that has some kind of effect, or thorns, or like you could have
Like
some
a
kind of like
ranger.
area.
I mean, I guess that's a good point, because
Yeah.
the phrase isn't summon wilderness to your whatever. It's summon the wilderness back to the source.
You
What
being
is the source?
Well, you can be this. Maybe you're the source.
Maybe, but then that
What?
makes me
Cantha?
think Ranger again. But
It makes me think Shrine Guardian,
yeah, it makes me think
Cantha.
of the Spirit Guardians. Yeah, like
Harvest
the
Temple.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is the expansion taking place in Cantha again?
I don't know. I mean, the ritualist thing is a Canthan ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard so many people be like, they're doing it. They're finally doing Utopia, and I'm like,
We talked about
don't-
Utopia last week with Engel.
Yeah,
Engel
you
went
missed
there.
it.
Engel went there. Yeah.
I am on that. I am
Engel's
on that
the
train.
I
but
think
know
Engel
what?
persuaded
I get it,
us
I
as
get it.
well. I mean, Engel
I was
persuaded me at the
always-
very least.
Hesitant about a Utopia expansion because I thought it'd be like the final one that they did. But the way you spun it, I actually want to experience a Utopia expansion.
Same.
You laid that out very beautifully.
You sold us. Should we go on to the final one?
Oh, this final one, which does not have a Chinese poem yet. I think that will be
No.
launching tomorrow. So we just have the icon attached
Which I
to this.
kind of prefer, actually, because I think
Yeah,
the
we're
art,
all going in blind.
I think the poem kind of refines things so much, like it doesn't make it
Although
very open.
honestly, I feel like they're all leading me
Yeah.
astray. The poems.
I feel like the more
Sure.
you think about it,
Sure.
the more you begin to second guess yourself, and then you're like, it could be 5 different classes. You're like,
Now,
Yeah.
this is the one where I think most people are on the Guardian train.
Really?
okay.
Yes.
God, I hope not.
I-
Why?
Much
Because you
like-
want the
Why?
last one to be Guardian.
Much
this is-
like with Boots's hesitancy about Ranger, I have the same feelings with Guardian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
hate
also
this
they-
for Guardian.
You think it's
Guardian
two
only has
Guardian
longbow,
already?
right?
Well,
Guardian only has longbow, and this clearly is a short bow. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I agree.
Unless
Boots.
the arrow is quite big, so yeah, maybe.
And
does
it is
look
the
like short bow.
we're all agreed this is the Cupid elite
Oh,
spec,
I've
right?
seen that too.
So if it's a bow, but then again, if it's a bow, does the bow mean that it's someone who already has a bow? That, like, you know.
No, it just means that you are Cupid and you shoot enemies, and they become your friends and attack other enemies.
Okay, I like that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I hope maybe it's a short bow feature. The reason I'm so opposed to it for Guardian is because, like, why? Sorry, why would you do this? It seems so.
Feelings.
Well, it just
Agree, 'cause if
so
you're not
Feeling.
giving these elite specs weapons, why would you have the theme
Very true.
be just a longbow, which they already have?
Or
It's weird,
Hilda.
yeah.
That's
honestly,
true.
Dragon Hunter already, like, if I could go in and like replace the Dragon Hunter icon with this, I would.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
But remembering
this
that weapons
too-
aren't tied to elite specs anymore.
I know, but like this
Yeah.
to me reads Dragon Hunter so much because even though I don't use like a bow on a lot of my builds for Dragon Hunter, depending, like you have the bow and you have that big gap closer that has the wing effect with the feathered
Yeah.
wings that come out.
That's right.
And to me, that's so iconic to the visuals that I see all the time playing that class that I feel like if they gave this to Guardian, I'd be like, so what? We just have Dragon Hunter and Wyvern Hunter? Or like, we have
Yeah.
Dragon Hunter and Dragon Hunter 2.0?
Does it
Maybe
have
it's
to
like
be
angelic retribution or something like that.
Does it
and,
have
like,
to be
yeah.
a bow that kills things though?
I mean,
Like I said, you just
I
I'm
guess.
just asking
Try to find one
questions.
to like.
I don't have any thoughts
Feels-
other than that. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, no, my initial thought was also Guardian, which I was kind of salty about. But the more I've
You were
been spending
salty to
time,
yourself.
always,
Okay.
always, Jebro. I love a nice little lick. That salty sweat on the forehead. Anyways, I also was a bit hesitant to maybe embrace the idea of Guardian. I'm not so much on the Guardian train anymore. A lot of people have been saying things like Ranger, only because the Paragon or that helmet with the wings is so kind of close to what core warrior is all about. The bow is kind of so symbolic of Ranger. It's not really its profession icon, but they utilize the bows quite well. And so maybe they're doing something more with the profession mechanic about sniping from really long range. But then the other one that I'm more kind of on right now is actually Elementalist.
Okay.
Because they never had a bow.
Say more.
They've never had a bow, and I know a lot of Elementalists want a really good. They love playing at range. They did just get the spear, which was nice. But I think maybe giving them some type of arcane bow F5 kit could be kind of cool. It's a way for them to entertain a new attunement without really having to do a whole bunch of skills. So, but this one is a little bit scary for me. We're in hot water here.
Yeah, so why are feathers on bows? I just randomly thought I'd ask Google. And I'm like,
Are
okay,
they feathers though?
that's a good question.
I mean, to me, it would indicate
Are they?
swiftness, right?
Yes.
Like quick
Yeah.
shots,
Mhm.
or even having control over the flight, right? Where
That's
like
that
maybe
bit.
you could.
That's the thing,
like-
exact thing it says. It says can help align the arrow properly as it is knocked, but that's on the arrow, and this is on the actual bow, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
But like, I like the idea, Kurf. Like, if we're rolling with your elementalist theory or like magic
On the back.
shots, I think that it'd be cool to be able to almost do. Was it like what movie where you could like bend the bullets?
Oh, curve the bullet.
Yeah. But like, if you had like projectiles that you could redirect or alter, or that could shoot at different angles, or like even come up out of the ground, like there's so many things that you could do with that could be kind of fun. A sniper would also be cool, right? That long distance flight, I think I could see.
It's weird
if it
though that gets so defined in the image. Like it's not just a bow with an arrow. It's what this is coming off of it. That's the thing. Why is that so important?
It's wings.
Wanted is the movie. Sorry, thank you, chat.
It's wings. By the way, I'm very sorry to inform everybody that I do have to go. I was just informed that my time is up.
Ring timer.
Can you like just turn off your camera? Is that okay?
I can do that, yeah.
Instead, Boots, do you want to give us a quick thought about this one? You think it might be before you go?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably Guardian, and it's probably like an angelic retribution kind of thing. That you like your virtues turn into like bow attacks that you get to use or something. Yeah. But I don't think I like that either.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You need to go. It's
right.
okay. We'll see you later, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Bye. I'm just gonna turn off my camera first, see if that works.
It's gonna move people,
Still
but that's
shifts us
okay.
around.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, we don't have the names on, that's fine. And then I'm gonna mute myself.
Yes.
Bye-bye, Boots.
Bye.
Boots.
And move people over here because they've moved them on the other thing. Okay. So anyone else thoughts on this one? Yes, Ingo.
I am with Rook on this one. I think it would feel too close to Dragon Hunter to be giving it to Guardian. I think that would actually be maybe somewhat disappointing to those players. So I have this in Ranger, but it's because I had nowhere else really to put it other than that. That would make sense. So I don't really have a good reason why it is Ranger, but I have a good reason why I don't think this is Guardian.
Ranger hasn't really
like
gotten like a sniping elite specialization yet.
Yeah.
So I think,
Yeah.
and a ranger
agree.
probably would do that with like a bow and not really rifle.
Mhm.
So I would be more inclined to experience a more modernized version of a bow ranger, most because like
Yeah.
longbow is quite slow, and I think some of those abilities are a little outdated. This might be a way for them to. You can still use your longbow, but then maybe your profession mechanic really allows you to enhance and go into some type of
Right.
sniping
Oh,
form.
so you think maybe that kind of little bit coming off the bow is like enhancing a weapon specifically.
It could be some type of energy. It does. I
so.
can definitely
I like
see
that idea.
wings, but it's
Yeah.
not angelic enough
Yeah, it
like
doesn't
the
feel like
helmet
that,
that we
yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
The helmet with those wings, that read like angel wings that have like a cascading
Mhm.
tiered plumage. This looks quite flat.
Mm.
So I don't know.
It's a bit more. Yeah, this is one's a bit more. Of it.
Yeah. I think
know.
I'd put this ranger as well, just because I want the Shrine Guardian for myself. And I want
Me
I love
too.
how it goes back to the actual logical reason why they think.
Listen, I'm just being honest here. I'm speaking from the
fair.
heart.
You do it. You do it.
And
Live your
because
truth.
I kind of feel like with Ranger, now granted, the only character I have, okay, well I do Druid, but like otherwise the only character that I have that's like experimented with bow on Ranger is just quite frankly an RP character. But from my understanding, bows I don't think have always like really been strongly meta with Ranger. Am I correct? Is that right?
I think in World versus World, their range is always good. In PvE, they're more so just like
Maybe
open world fun
solo.
pools.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
they're like anything in
solo.
open world.
I mean, I think
works.
open world, yeah, like it's fun
Yeah.
to use a longbow, like in open world, like really good leveling weapon for like range and AoE as well at the same time. It feels fun.
Yeah,
But
it's a fun
they might
weapon.
lean into the range of Ranger for an elite spec.
Exactly. I feel
Yeah.
like the idea of like a ranger striding through the wilderness with this bow felling prey or trespassers or stuff like that feels really iconic. And in that way, like the wings could be something where it's like, I don't know, like a bird of prey or an aspect in that regard, or griffins, or
Yeah, like
stuff.
summoning up a yeah, maybe.
I think that could be pretty cool. So yeah, I guess that would be
I
my.
think what I'm sensing from you, Rook, and everyone is that we're not like overly excited about this one. And that doesn't mean it's not necessarily bad. It just means maybe it's more like vague and it doesn't really give us like as much as maybe like the bard, like the bard or the cards would in terms of like excitement and like energy. Yeah. And I actually think that that's the case for all of these icons in this week, other than the Fox one. I think I was less excited for these in comparison to the others. That might just be because there was a loot. And it's like, how do you just like outdo a bard? You know what I mean? Like, that feels difficult to do.
I actually would be extremely excited to see this on Ranger, but right now my emotions are overly strong with anxiety that I can't really be that happy about the idea for Ranger, because I feel deep down it might be something else. But I actually think that this week's lineup, it wasn't necessarily I mean, we are well into them teasing these, so they're not like new. We kind of know what to expect. We're gonna get a teaser on these days and these days. But I liked this selection. I liked the strange, what could be a fist type thing. The
vagueness you like kind of thing. Or?
Yeah. I enjoyed the Fox one in particular. And especially talking about the idea of a Shrine Guardian is really cool. So these teasers are doing their job. They're still pretty effective.
Very true. Very true.
I think it's just harder with the ones this week because they are more ambiguous and or generic in certain ways. And so for me, it's generic, I need the name of the class or like the spec, and I need a little bit of like the taste, the flavor of the class, like I need to see a little something of it, because I could get really excited for any of these. It's just a matter of actually seeing what they have. Whereas like last week's ones, even though I wasn't here for the discussion, it's like, a loot for a bard. Yes, give it to me. We've all wanted bard for so long. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Or like the gambling, like the poker cards, or the perhaps like tarot, but they kind of look like, they might have to do with like I don't know, the fate of the draw or stuff like that. Maybe more so playing card style, gambler. Like that's so exciting. Like, and then of course
Absolutely.
the Paragon possibility. I think it was just that last week the icons on their own convey a bit more
Yes.
of a potential concept, especially fresh concepts to the world. Whereas like this week we were like, cool, we have like a bow and a dagger.
Yeah. Yeah.
A bow, a dagger,
Yeah,
and there's a fox.
that's the thing with my energy around it. I'm like, yeah, it gives, yeah.
So yeah, I think it's not that I'm less excited. I'm really excited, and the fox got me really excited. But I think mostly just because the fox is the one from this week's lineup that has the most new, fresh, shiny, exciting impact just upon its visual alone. And until we know what that sharp, jagged boat shield, dragon maw, cryptis fist is, like, I think it's hard to kind of align yourself with what you imagine or feel or what you will feel when you play the class, which I think is the big thing, right? We all want to lean into the potential class fantasy that these elite specs offer us. So we need something that gives a sense of that. And I think that the icons this week, just like, they're cool, and I'm excited and I'm interested to see how they interpret these specs. I'm not sure what to make of a few of them right now.
Yeah.
So.
And we also have,
keep in mind,
go on.
Jabro, taking it right out of my
No.
noggin.
We're both gonna say the same thing.
So let's say it at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
There's one left.
One miss. Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's say
Chris.
one missing icon. We didn't go over a script. It's fine. But there's one missing icon. So I guess in all of our heart of hearts, we each have an idea of what profession they have not shown yet.
Engineer.
You don't think they've shown engineer yet?
I don't think there's an engineer.
I don't think they've shown elementalist yet.
That could be correct.
I
as
think
well.
over here on Elibo.
I think the bow might be ranger. And I think that Silver Flows poem with the strange icon might actually be Metal Mancy engineer.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
This
possibly.
Metal
My-
Mancy as an engineer would be so cool, though.
It would be.
I know.
As long as we don't get like a pet spec again.
Oof.
Fucking mechanist.
My lineup,
Sorry.
I guess. I have not attributed any of these super confidently to elementalist yet.
Hmm.
I can see that. Honestly, I agree.
I feel like
know,
there's
I had-
elemental possibilities there, but I can see that. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, right? Like, no. I mean, I think like elementalist, possibly earth, stuff like that, the metal bending, like we talked about. But I personally actually love your idea for Morkroof, because I think if there was a metal mancer in NG, so sorry, Jebro, I would actually play NG.
I would
Yeah.
too. If
No, I
Like,
mean, yeah.
I
I like that. I like it. I don't hate it. That's for sure. Yeah.
I have never personally been somebody that's been really drawn to this sort of like, I build stuff kind of, like I construct little gadgets sorts of classes, or I make anything, mechanical engineering kind of stuff, robots. Usually I lean more towards the magic. And I think that's something that, again, if we're looking for, hey, give us a little bit of something different with some of the professions that we have, I think that would be something that we haven't seen yet from engineer, to have something that's a little bit more magic, but still has this metal element to it, or this kind of, you could construct things out of it or shift it or shape it. I think that's really cool.
Turrets 2.0, like you're able to build like defense towers and constructs and various things.
Engineers have feelings about turrets.
They have a lot of trauma there.
I got a lot of that trauma when I made a PvP meta build where people would just guard a capture point with turrets, and you could literally just 1v3 people. I got so much crap to that.
They learn from the past and they give it a little modern spin to see how it lands.
I just kind of don't want things following me around that shoot out stuff, and like I want there to be more.
Oh, like you would it would be more temporary. You like have more command over them.
I think like as an engineer, I've been a bit disappointed with the elite specs over the last couple of years. Like mechanist and the elite spec and then the bow weapon. Like I like the bow. Like I just like, because I just like running around with it and it's kind of fun. But like it doesn't feel very like doesn't engaging when you use it. And then like mechanist is just kind of like you just command your mech to do things. and you can get extra damage and condition damage and stuff with signets. Like it just feels like that, you know. It doesn't feel very like, so as long as it's not around that, but that's just like my heart, because I'm just like, this thing, as long as it's not like, I don't know.
So what do you think, because I think you're the only real like passionate engineer player here.
Yes.
Even in the
in
stream
world.
chat, there's no one else.
The only person that plays it.
If you had the ability to create an elite spec theme for engineer, what would you devise?
This is a really difficult question, because I actually don't think I know.
Welcome.
Like I think I don't actually know. I think I like something someone said, like the atom, like, you know, don't really messing more with like explosions and like a scientist kind of thing. I know we've got elixirs, right? Like because you mix like chemicals and stuff like that, but it gives you boons mostly. I'm like want to use like, you know, be a bit more of like a mad scientist kind of vibe, where you just have like things that just explode, but are like you combine different abilities to like throw things, and like they're just explosions, or I don't know, or more, or something really Golem kind of oriented.
It could really lean into like combo fields with a spec like that.
Yeah,
that
I
could
like
be
combo
really cool.
fields a lot. Like combo fields are really, really cool, but like they've got the bow for that as well, I guess. But like, you know, I mean, bombs are still an issue. I think they did a good job with like making them more fun, but they're still very much like at your feet kind of stuff. It just feels weird still. But I don't know, or something more like stealthy and kind of a run and gun spec, which is something I've always thought about. Don't know if you've ever
like
seen Vox. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen like Vox Machina, the Critical Role show, but there's a character in that I really like, and he's got like there's this spirit that takes over his guns. And it's,
Percy?
Yeah, Percy. That's right. Good. Someone watches it. And like there's this spirit that takes over in the guns, and he like kills people, and they take the spirit. Blah blah blah. I can't remember the exacts of it, but I'm not going to spoil what happens there, but like that's kind of fun, but that kind of feels necro. But there's loads of possibilities, but I'm still not sold on any of these icons being like engineer, whereas like the mechanist I think was really not blatant, but I think we were like, it was either, I think we were talking about ranger and stuff sometimes with that. We weren't sure what it looked like, because it kind of looked like a pet. I don't know, it's kind of weird and vague as well, but there's nothing really sticking out to me for it, other than maybe this and maybe what Engel was saying about the kind of fortifications and stuff. But I'm really against like anything turrety and stationary because of bombs and turrets. So I'm like, please don't do that. Like unless it's gonna be movable, like, and I don't know, yeah. But still, it doesn't, because Guild Wars 2 is a game where you move. You don't have like casted abilities and stuff. I feel like things that are stuck in place, I don't like it in Guild Wars 2. Doesn't feel Guild Wars 2.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that they are very proud of and really like to showcase their like high mobility action combat, right? So I think you have to keep that in mind, and especially too because so many of the fights and also like even open world stuff is so dynamic and responsive and fast paced that having stuff that's a little bit more stuck, it feels like you are working at you're constantly going uphill, like fighting an uphill battle. You know what I mean? Because you're just basically going against the intuitive flow of the game itself and its combat. So I hope they keep, focusing on those aspects too, because I can understand where that frustration comes from, Jeb. And I think there are some great concepts, but they haven't always 100% gelled, completely with the flow of Guild Wars 2 here or there.
Holosmith is very good, but there's still these very planted like arenas, right? Like the arena is a very planted utility.
Like wells and spell fields and stuff. Kind of inescapable.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think like there was the Malcolm misprediction as well of Bard, and I'm like, an engineer being a Bard I could see, because like constructing and building and using music in like, technology, because if you think about sound and sound waves, like science, I'm like, okay, maybe, but I just
They
might be a
Chromatica.
thought it
stretch.
was like reminiscent of kits and like
Yeah.
using different instruments and
That's
having
where
different.
it would fit, I think, because then
Yeah.
it makes me think about Rogue in Rift. And they did it, as I was gushing about, did it beautifully. I don't think I've ever
Gushing.
played so fucking good. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, what other classes do we think we've not? What is the class we don't think we've seen? Like, Engel, is there a class where you're like, I don't think we've seen that? Yeah.
Yeah, I am throwing down my money on Revenant Dervish. Is what we have.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go as far to say both, but I think that's what we're gonna get.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers because I put down a lot of Mystic coins on that one. So
Oh, you've actually bet like in-game currency on this?
yeah, well, yeah, I do
That's
have
cool.
actually two different, very small. I'm not like taking anybody's money, but yeah,
Just 700 Mystic coins.
Lots of gold, you know.
yeah.
You know, whatever they decided to put it in with profession-wise, I agree with you. It feels weird if they don't have Dervish, but we do have like Paragon, we've got Ritualist. Maybe in the future they could put Dervish in with a different batch if they want to like break up the Guild Wars one good vibe coins and, you know, the nostalgia currency that they can cash in on. Like,
We might not have Assassin, so they could do like an Assassin then Dervish next expansion.
yeah, right. So that is possible, but I could see a Dervish being kind of the one to round out the set to some degree here. I agree though, Kroof, that Elementalist, like maybe we've seen it, maybe the fox ears are meant to mimic the flames of the Elementalist symbol. Maybe Elementalist is the bow and we use that. But I agree that I don't necessarily feel like any of these, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's Elementalist, like no doubt. Like that's 100% Elementalist. I think there are some that we could finagle to be Elementalist, but I could see that. Otherwise, maybe Engineer, right? If they don't get the Metallurgy kind of thing. Maybe we have not seen Engineer yet, and there's something cool that they have planned for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
possible. I would.
I
The
think
thing is that I
Revenant and
feel like,
Engineer,
yeah, I feel like Mesmer and Thief are the two that right now I'm like, these icons could apply to them the most. So I feel like at least one of them is affiliated with like the icons here, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, sure, maybe not, but I feel like Mesmer and Thief are covered. Warrior, we know. Necromancer, we know. It just depends on if
Yeah.
the dagger is Ritualist. So yeah, I would say like NG, maybe Elementalist.
This was probably the cards as well.
Oh, you think Mesmer's the cards?
Yeah.
Bard, maybe. I thought it could be Bard.
I think
It's
that's
either Bard or
gonna
the
be
cards.
Mesmer.
Yeah.
Do you know why I think Mesmer is the cards?
I think
In Guild Wars,
Go on. Yeah.
in the original Guild Wars, there is a character who's a Jade Brotherhood boss called Sieran of the Cards, and they are a Mesmer monk.
Oh, we lost boots. Uh-oh. Give me a sec. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
A Mesmer monk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Wouldn't be mad at that.
There isn't much like lore about this person. I didn't get a chance to go back and play the actual part of the story, but their name is Sieran of the Cards. So, Mike, where is of the cards from? What does that mean?
Sorry, I'm
Pulling from the
organizing
deep
the
lore.
thing cameras because they've changed. So I'm silent
You're
for a
good.
second.
Not me like furiously trying to wiki the character being referenced. Interesting. I mean, I like that. I like that idea. I think that this is gonna sound well, it's not that silly. I think it makes sense. If I'm thinking thematically about characters in media that use something like Mesmer-esque abilities affiliated with cards, I think of Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. where he uses cards as a like projectile, but he attaches like his own kind of energy, and it kind of shows up as this like spectral pinky kind of colored thing to them, so that they can like bungee gum to things or stick to things or like go out from him or be called back into him. Or he can like create false versions of them. So I could definitely see something like that. Or Gambit kind of has the same sort of power.
We were going on Gambit. I was going on Gambit, right? For sure.
Use cards with like an energy and then kind of fire them out. So I could absolutely see that. I could also see it being on Thief or something like that too. Lady Luck or Gambling for Fate, absolutely. Or so I think that those things could be kind of fun. But yeah, Bard. It's interesting if Bard wasn't Mesmer. I have a hard time deciding where I think it would go, but I think it would be fun as any of the other professions, and it would shake something up for all of them, you know?
For sure.
I think Bard is so applicable to a few professions that it's kind of like, no matter where it lands, people are going to play it. They're going to want to see what that elite spec is all about.
Absolutely. Because that is like that is just like, it's so iconic in just like where it is in like D&D and just everything, like shows and like, you know, okay, all right, we're pretty good there, I think. Maybe
we like, covered it all.
The things like we actually still did pretty good, even like we had the podcast, you know, like we did pretty decently. Excellent. Oh, we always do very well anyway, but okay, let me think. Is there anything else they did or showed? I don't think so. I think we're good.
No.
The 15th is a big day for Guild Wars 2. They keep talking about, like, they're probably going to tell us maybe the names of the things, or they're going to show us a very vague trailer of all their abilities, probably. Like, please give us a trailer.
I don't think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think that they would tease all of these every single day or about every single day and then not reveal more about them come the 15th. And then we'd have to wait each week to be like, okay, no, which one are they going to reveal this week? They think they're going to at least tell us the names of them and what they're associated to, like in terms of classes.
Like, they'll just be like ritualist, and then like they've just got the class like showing off some abilities and stuff, and then that's it, maybe.
Yeah, kind of similar to maybe like 14, where like they'll have the icons, they make them colored so we know what the profession is, have a little bits of gameplay, and then kind of leave it at that. Then the following weeks they'll probably have live streams going more in depth into like the traits, the utility skills, their lore ideas behind it. That's what I would want to see from the marketing junket as well, because that'd give you 9 weeks of stuff to talk about.
Agreed. I hope they do that too. I hope we get something of like impact where I hope we get a teaser for the actual expansion where we get to see something that kind of sets up the vibe of whatever it is. And then we get something maybe within that has these different profession showcased so that we know what they are, or elite specs, I should say, showcased so that we at least know their name and maybe just get a sense again of that flavor, because we want to know what we're going to be eating. We want to know what we're going to get to look forward to soon. So I hope we get that, as opposed to just like then dragging it out, you know, like little snippets, or even just like a blog post where they're just like, here's the names of them all.
Yeah,
just putting us out of our misery.
Oh my god! If they do a blog post of that, I'm going to be very sad.
If it is accompanied by other things, that's fine. Blog posts are good as long as it's accompanied by like trailers and streams and.
It's too exciting to
visual
have a
media.
flipping blog post. The trailer could be in the blog post. It has to be a trailer. I'm sorry. I'm putting my foot down. It has to be a trailer. God damn it.
The 15th is going to definitely be a trailer announcement. Like, it's going to be something good.
It's got to be like. I mean, I want a trailer for the elite specs. They've literally just been doing this for 2 weeks. If they did something, I'd just be weird. I like that. I mean, wouldn't be sad if I saw story stuff and etc. But like, I don't know.
Agreed.
I just want to see the thing. I want to see the thing.
Like Jan Through Wilds. Yeah, when they announced Jan Through Wilds, they showed us the trailer for it.
Yeah, I'm
so
ready.
We think this is like an expand, because it is the announcement of the expansion, right?
Yeah,
specifically.
Expansion announcement day.
But like, it's not gonna. We don't think it. Yeah, I guess so. So it might not be like a specific elite spec.
Look, my dream my like best case scenario dream would be that day, like a thing goes up in the morning and it's like, we will be live at blank or whatever. And then
Yeah.
they have a whole thing on like with a Twitch stream or whatever, where like some of the devs are there, the voice actors have pre-recorded things, and they do a whole trailer debuting it, and then they show off the features that you can expect in the new expansion, and then we get a peek at the elite specs. And I do not think that's what's going to happen.
They keep the countdown on top of the elite trait teasers, but in the blog post they also don't say like it's an expansion announcement. It's just a first look at it. So I'm like, is a first look at elite bit? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know if they've said that anywhere else. Like I can't remember them saying specifically like expansion announcement, like everything, like, you know, the features and everything. I don't know, maybe we'll find it. Do you think we're gonna get features as well on Tuesday?
I think they're going to go over like the general features, like what we can imagine, maybe like homesteads, a new raid, a new dungeon, maybe something along those lines, and then like elite specializations, and then of course the location of the expansion and the general story, like hooks that they all.
So I guess then another question to ask is like maybe some predictions on features that you think is going to come in, because we haven't done that. And like, if they're going to do an announcement, then we actually probably should mention that, even if it's very briefly, because that's actually a big deal. Because we haven't actually had a conversation about this.
The idea of what is new for an expansion.
Yeah.
I have one. I think I only really have one idea. I want to see them develop henchmen, a type of companion system. I think that'd be really fun. It doesn't have to be like the full, you have a whole squad of 5 henchmen, but just like you can bring one henchman, one companion with you in the open world, and also to help you do dungeons or something.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right,
I like it too. Something like, if we're going back to Guild Wars 1, in some spirit, right? Heroes. Like that's the thing. Having
the specs.
Yeah, like having some kind of companion or things like that, I think would be great. So that'd be cool. I'd like to see that. We always talk about photo mode. I think that's there. If they ever want to use that, that is a continual thing that could be implemented as a feature. They talked a bit about the fact that, right, they're going to be taking this first portion of the expansion to do some updating. And they also touched on in that blog post in a section we didn't read, but that I think Boots really wanted to, on how some of the old coding or old systems in the game have been really holding back development. So it's possible that like some of the features that we see listed are also just things like you get an LFG or whatever it is that they might do that are like the things they're looking to update as well, which might not be like as exciting as brand new entire features, but I think that's possible. And I see chat talking about like what mount we think might be featured. Will they revisit an old one?
Will they bring a new one? That's true. We've had the mounts.
Roller beetles.
Yeah, you're loving those roller
be a nice one.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Good point.
I saw somebody asking for an update to Springer recently in chat.
I mean, yeah. So more of a, okay.
I'd want to see an update to the Jackal.
I still really like the Raptor. Really like the Raptor. So.
OG.
Just,
I think it could be fun to have a new.
Yes, I just got really excited.
I kind of want a new mount of some kind. I don't know what it would be. I feel like we already have so many things covered. Like, what would you even try to do? But
that's the thing, right? Like housing we got, but like I'm not sure if the system is more I'm not really engaged in it that much, so I don't know, maybe some more refinement. I mean, I think I know the one thing I do really flippin' want to be back in the game and worked on, and that's guild missions. Like I want guild missions pretty bad. Like Guild Wars 2, let's make it guildy. Let's get some focus on the guild systems, the systems of what a guild is, what it means, what you can do with people, invitations, like advertisements in a guild application system, which tons of MMORPGs have. Guild Wars 2 does not have that still in the game. I think that's a big deal. Well, I think, you know, if we're going for unicorns and dragons doing things to each other,
Excuse me? I'll take that as a new feature in the game.
It's a phrase that I read in it, like when I went to a meeting really like a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure like, it's okay to talk about this. I don't think I'm breaking NDA by saying something. I'm pretty sure someone said to me, it was either Colin, Josh, or he was the World v World lead. They were like, if you could have anything like dragons, fucking unicorns, what would you want in the game? And I was like, what? Or maybe they said dragons and fucking unicorns, and I'm not sure which one that I remember because it was like 2014, 15.
Revisionist history.
Yeah, it was a fair while ago. Like I think you know, a mods or some kind of, you know, UI editor as well, but that's not going to happen. So I'm just like, I'd love it, but you know, just a few things.
CC. This isn't like a whole new feature, but boy, I would love a CC update. Like, give us some character custom, like new character customization options.
Oh,
give
okay,
us like.
I was like closed captions.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you meant like crowd control.
Like push
I was like, what?
That too.
Character customization. I would love if we got some new things for all of the different character creation. Honestly, I think it'd be awesome to have like an expansion of the character creator at some point where they added in other things, or like added new face templates, or added a bunch of stuff.
Old models and stuff. That'd be nice.
I mean, yeah, an overhaul to the base game graphics, maybe to like just updating. We talked about World v World being updated, like a graphical kind of update, like to forts and just the terrain and stuff, because it's like a game mode which people go back into the old game as well anyway. So, but yeah, anyway, I guess, Engel, is there anything you kind of are like, ooh?
Not that hasn't been already mentioned. I know I was talking with my community about the guild missions as well, but I wasn't sure what they look like. And I know the strikes, dragon response missions, dungeons, fractals, all of those instant content I would like to see consolidated, which we talked about earlier. So I think we're on our way to getting what I want, which is,
hopefully.
I don't know if that makes me spoiled, but I'll take it.
Right there with you.
I mean, with gamers, we're kind of spoiled.
We feel entitled.
Ain't
That's
it
okay.
spoiled me?
Okay. That's true. All right. Well, I think today we're going to end things there then. We had to have a little bit of, I just totally forgot about like predictions for the actual expansion itself. Like we're getting, like we didn't do a stream about that either because the Elite Specs came, like Speculation came. So hey ho, we did a little bit of it. Thank you everyone for watching the Lightbringers podcast. We've had some amazing guests today. They're going to tell you a little bit about themselves, but first I'm going to tell you that if you do want to support the podcast, you can go and check us out on youtube.com/JebroUnity, and you can find all the episodes there. There's easily over 100 you can check out with loads of videos from tons of different guests we've had in the past, including these wonderful, lovely people. You can also go and check us out on Spotify and all the things that may take it down off Spotify because why has that paused? That's weird. Otherwise you can just Google us, Lightbringers GW2 podcast, and you can find us anywhere other than OnlyFans and Pornhub. We're pretty much not there yet, but you know, could be in the future. You never know. There's some wild stuff coming out there.
So, you know, earlier Deborah was advertising his butt as a major attraction
That's
of
true.
the Guild Wars 2 meetup at PAX West. So
if someone comes and grabs my ass with PAX West, I feel like I can't say anything bad about that. That is not, there is no consent there, people. There is no consent there. Okay? Unless you buy me 2 drinks first. Sorry. I went with 2.
That's a deal.
Okay? It's a deal. Then they've got to be spirits. Okay?
Oh, don't worry, I'll channel my ritualist.
Probably like whiskey. Anyway, very cheap. This is Seattle, my friend. Spirits cost a lot. Like, you know, I'm talking like, damn. Like, this is at least $20. Which sounds even worse. Anyway, Engel, can you tell us What are you doing? Where are you doing? I'm sorry.
Oh dear.
Well, you can
sorry.
find me on OnlyFans. That was a wild assumption that I wasn't on there. I'm just kidding. Only Brams, more like. My name's
Oh, there
Ingrid
we go.
Meow. I stream on Twitch mostly. You can find me on TikTok and Blue Sky as well. I do, along with Guild Wars 2 content, I do a series on my channel called Curse Cosplay, where I cosplay people, places, and random things from the Guild Wars 2 universe, all to raise funds for the Extra Life, which benefits the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. And I think that's all. You can check out what I've done so far on ebmcursecosplays.com. Otherwise, spend your time checking out these other lovely people. They're amazing. I love being here with them.
You should cosplay one of the Elite Spec icons.
I've thought about it, just putting my face in the middle of that
Yeah.
hexagon. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna stream. Whatever trailer thing, if they're doing a trailer, whatever it is on Tuesday, maybe I'll show up in the hexagon, in the purple and orange.
Yes, yes.
I like that.
I'm kind of here for this. But
That's a good idea.
I've done the last 2 logos, so whatever logo, if there is one,
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
will be
That's
immediately
amazing.
written down.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Thank you so much, Engel. Kroof, do the things.
Hi everyone, my name is Kroof. You can follow me over on YouTube. I'm making a plethora of Guild Wars 2 content over there, from anything like Elite Spec reactions, speculations, new player guides, and I also have resubbed to WoW, so I might also be pumping out some World of Warcraft content for classes. Who knows? You'll also stream here on Twitch during the weekends, so you can come over to my little den, and I will treat you very, very nicely. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you all today.
Awesome. And thank you very much, Kroof, for coming on. Last but not least, Kroof.
I'll go again.
Rookery.
Me,
Says all the things.
It's me, Kroof.
My brain's not working.
I've rebranded, and I'm now going to be doing purely reaction content to all of Kroof's videos. So, and I will do this while doing a cursed cosplay of Kroof. So if you'd like to find that content, please
I'm posting it on my OnlyFans.
Yes.
bring out to my OnlyFans very
I
soon.
didn't say anything. I haven't said anything.
It'll be Kroof, but in a Speedo is the cosplay. So
Ooh, I'll send you some reference pics. I'll send you
Thank
some
you so
reference pics. You know, I've been hitting the gym.
Wow. Maybe we should make that the extra feature of the podcast. If you commit extra, if you subscribe on whatever thingamajig, you get a Speedo from Kroof. I don't know.
well, you have really just
Sorry.
volunteered Kroof for something immediately.
Yeah, did not sign up for it,
Wow.
but if the money's right.
All right. All jokes aside, I'm going to save up to buy some of those Kroof picks, and I hope you all will too. But also, you can find me in the meantime and help me save up for those picks by supporting my work on Twitch, which is Rookery. That's Rookuri. I stream over there. I play a lot of MMORPGs, but I love RPGs as a genre. So we've been taking a little bit of time this summer to go through and play some of the RPGs that I have not been able to touch because I've been so busy since last year, pretty much. So we've been playing through a little Metaphor Refantasio. We did a little South of Midnight, and we are, of course, playing a lot of our MMOs. So we've been doing a ton of Guild Wars 2 streams as we get excited about the new expansion. We are going to be doing more Final Fantasy 14, and we will be sprinkling in some WoW. So that's where you can find me normally, but you can also find me on my YouTube at Rookery, the exact same name. And you can find me on this podcast as well as Aetheryte Radio podcast for Final Fantasy 14. But I have been doing a lot of other work in the esports scene recently. So if I'm not live on my own channel, it's probably because I'm at an event, so I'm probably live somewhere else. I've been doing a lot of things for Blizzard with World of Warcraft with their Mythic Dungeon Internationals, and other events around Final Fantasy 14 races and things like that. So keep an eye out. Next month, there will be a little something or a big something happening that I can't announce quite yet, but I'm really excited. And if you're curious, check that out. Check out my socials. You can find me on Twitter at Rookery_ and on Blue Sky at Rookery. Again, that's Rookuri. So
Lovely job. Awesome to have most of our team back. Also sending thoughts to Fornax. Very good. We'll get them hopefully back on next week. Everyone, thanks so much. Twitch.tv/JebroUnity on every Sunday at the moment until we run out of news about the expansion. 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. BST. We will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Peace and all the things that are good. Bye. Oh, and get hyped to the expansion thing on Tuesday. Go watch it or listen to it, or hopefully not just read it.